Hello, hello, my amazing peoples. Can you shut that up? How is everybody this morning? If I didn't catch you guys on the last stream, which was Friday, I am hoping you're all here now. We'll give everybody a minute to roll in. And in the meantime, for those of you that weren't here Friday, did you catch up on our stream? What did you think? Sunday fun day. Yes, Sunday fun day. That's our day. It is cold here too. We got some snow, of course, and I am very comfy in my pajamas and my robe. I feel like I should have worn this on Christmas morning. Like it's very Christmassy. I feel like Hugh Hefnery in this thing. I have a white silk one that's a little more Hugh Hefnery than this, but it's super comfy. Anyways. We're rolling. I promise we are rolling. Here we are rolling. Yeah, it is fluffy. It does get in your boots and socks. That's the most annoying part, is when it gets in your boots and socks. I hate that. Wet feet, wet clothes, not a fan of that. Not a fan at all. So X is kind of blown up in the last 12 hours. There's lots of shenanigans afoot. Lots of shenanigans afoot. The sewer turtle's still looking for that elusive Snorlax as we speak. He's looking for it. I don't think he found it, but he's looking for it. It's not my circus and it's not my monkeys, but I definitely know the clowns. That's what my shirt says. I love this shirt. It's super comfortable. But there's quite a bit sort of going on here. We have some more leaks, of course, of privileged communications with Aiden as an attorney, because he can't stop doing things like that. He also can't stop wiretapping people. So, I had known for a while that he had wiretapped, or potentially wiretapped Brian LTO. And then yesterday that clip came out of it. So 54 is cold. It's cold here. I'll take 54. I would take that over the coldness I'm feeling in the moment. Good afternoon. Did those of you who weren't here catch up on the last live stream? I got so many messages, emails, text messages from all of you about our last stream. We had a special guest, my husband. And we dubbed him the husband when I first started my stream. I said, well, we got to come up with a name. We have to come up with a name for him, right? Like who he is to said show. And people were like, well, he's Twisted's husband, so he is the Twusband. And so the Twusband was our special guest on Friday, and I've been asking him for a while to just join the show. Just hang out with us. Just join, hang out, show the peoples who we are, show the peoples how childish and ridiculous we are together, even after 11 years, because we are like little children. Okay. Hence why I got him a Nerf gun as a Christmas gift, as one of the Christmas gifts, because he is like a child. And that is one of my favorite attributes about him, is he can be fun and funny and at the same time also be serious when he needs to be and get shit done. But even if I'm in a shitty mood, he can always do something that's going to make me laugh. And so we are ridiculous when we are together, absolutely ridiculous. And so I had been asking him for a while, like, just a little bit, babe, just pop on. And then he came up with the idea of giving away something from our merch store as a give back to you guys during Christmas time. And I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. But then all of you requested that he be the person that picks the name out of the hat. So we had where is it? We had a bag, not a hat. We had a bag. We made him shake it. I made him shake it. He didn't want to stream. I said, shake it. He started shaking the bag. I said, no, that ass though. And then he turned around and started shaking the bag into that. So, and then he threw these all up in the air like a dum-dum. But I mean, out of all of the, like, there are so many in here. Like 62, I think, total in here. Okay. Biker Daddy. Jesse's. Young Black Economist. Like, there's so many in here. Okay. Naka Alexander. It goes by your app because that's like the list that it gives me on my end. Mindy, Obiz, FY70F. Like, there are so many in here. Betty Blanco, Gloria Rocks. Like, there are just so many, right? LTG X89, Roxbird01, that's Casey. KJara617. Like, all of your names are in here, right? Glitter Pen Writer. Oops. Deidre. Like, all of your names are in here, right? I folded them up. Morning, afternoon, I. And I put them all in there. Here's Jane. Jane Robinson Bloom. Emily Joyce. Smitty Lee. And LG, which is Leah. Of course, he threw them around like they were toys later. Second Beach Gal. Allie. Luke Cold Facts. Matt Hurd. Pepper. Like, all your names are in here. Bottom line. All of you who were members, you know. Tracy Violet. Wallflower. Art Deco. The Back Nine. Maui. There's just all of them. Potluck. PJ Jones. Antisocial Butterfly. I think it was 62 total. Delcina. Kara. Natasha Gorby. Ooh, dropping them. Subi, DBO, Babs. Oh, I'm dropping them now. God damn it. There's just so many. Like, literally. Lynn Britton. Shannon K. Like, everyone's name is in here. Danny D. Even the ones who were gifted memberships. Christy Downing. Christy H. I did Kara. Did Wallflower. Sorry, I dropped a couple, so I had to pick a couple more up. I don't know which ones I dropped that were new and I didn't read and which ones I didn't. I should probably do it this way so they're all going in there. Jack D. Claire Marie Stewart. John Baggs. Shay 87. Kelly Springsteen. Doodle. Brooklyn Rules 617. Aries in the Midwest. Peter Hoffman. Genda 1273. Free Frame. Ski. Suspect. Like, all y'all's names are in this bag. Oops, now we're dropping more again. Yeah. God, I'm old. Bottom line is they're all in there, right? They're in there. And so, of all the people he could pull out of that bag with all of your names in there, he pulled Karen M. 0821. And if you guys don't know who Karen M 0821 is, a couple weeks ago, she donated a very large $500 donation to the channel, which has only happened not even a whole handful of times in the entire time I've been, streaming. It was very kind and it was very generous. And it's what allowed me to go shopping for my kids for Christmas. And so when he pulled this one out and handed it to me, I said to myself, this is pure good karma that the universe has literally just handed back. Like, that's literally the universe. I don't know what else could show anyone that when you put good karma out there, it comes back. It just does, right? And I mean, almost, it's almost as if the cosmos were like, hey, we need to show you and your audience that like good karma does come back to people. Like it does. And when he ever pulled this out, he didn't even realize who it was until after the stream. I had to say to him, like, do you know who you pulled out of the bag? And he's like, no. All I know is it said Karen. He's like, you had, like 10 Karens, babe. I'm like, fair, true, right? Fair, true. I said, and I explained to him who it was. And he was like, oh, now I understand why you were saying, like, it's, karma. Like that good karma comes back. Like the universe always course corrects, in my opinion. And I talk a lot about karma and how I think that the universe course corrects always. And I just thought, like, to myself, like, that is crazy. Like I couldn't have planned that if I tried, right? Hence why we had him pick, and also hence why we had him shake it to make sure all those names were shooken up pretty good. I also was originally just going to put them in there with like just, by themselves, like just the paper, like just like this. And then I was like, nah, I probably should fold them, right? Like I almost folded them again. But then I was like, I probably should just fold them at least fold them once, so that if they were just like regular, they would just be kind of sitting on top of each other like this. I was like, no, you might as well, like, that's why I said to him too, when he was doing it, like, make sure you only take one out, because I didn't want them like sticking to each other and then two people are pulled and then you don't know, you know what I mean? That's why I said, like, make sure you got one, sir. Make sure you have one. And yes, actually, X can be super fascinating with all the things that go on over there. That's for sure. Hey, girl. It does get bonkers and a little creepy. So you have to be very careful. Keep your, sanity. If it starts to get to a point where it's affecting you, just sign off. It's a lot sometimes. You can see a lot of good stuff, but you can also see a lot of hate and anger and vitriol over there, Hold on. Let me I forgot to turn my vibrate on the phone. It's usually on, silent in the morning time. And I forgot to turn it off of silent. Oh, sometimes people are like, really? You two? Like, really? Can you guys get a room or something? Like, what are you, 5? And we're like, yeah, duh. We are 5. And we've been together 11 years. We 12 in 2026. And we are just ridiculous, honestly. We are ridiculous. I think it was 62, like I said. Right? I should put them all in like one big giant frame. That'd be so cool. I love that. Yeah, different. It's the members versus subscribed. We have over 3,000 in subscribers. Imagine if I wrote all those down on a piece of paper. Holy shnikes. No, thank you. My hand would fall off. My hand would fall off. I know, we said it at the same time. Pinch, you owe me a Coke. Remember that back in the day? You guys remember that? We said the same thing at the same time. It's like punch buggy. It does. And that just proved to me that the universe, does see everything, and it is course correcting. And it might take a long time for some things to happen or for the universe to course correct, but eventually it will, Good morning, Shay. Oh, Jethro's not playing. He wants his out time, man. He wants it. He wants it. It does. It spills over into the YouTube streets and the Facebook streets and all of those. Punch buggy, don't punch back. Didn't you guys know? I am just beautiful and competent, and everyone else is ugly. If you don't know what that's from, don't magically take offense. That was actually on X this morning in a clip that I will show you guys. Well, it's waiving privilege. He's waiving those privileged communications that are being shared. So there are other communications that wouldn't be allowed to be given. Just because he waived those specific messages doesn't mean he waives all privilege. But when he shares them, he's waiving privilege. The lawyers can't waive privilege. Only the client can. So only he can waive privilege. And by sharing them with someone who can share them with the public, you are waiving privilege by sharing them with anyone at all. Yeah, they can use them. They certainly can use them. Absolutely, they can. They're in the public realm. They have every right to use them. Privilege was waived the second that he sent it to someone else and that person shared it with someone else. I mean, once you send it to someone else that's not in your legal team, you're waiving privilege if that gets out. If that gets out, you have waived privilege to those communications that have gotten out. And that's not all, folks. That's not all. See, it doesn't just stop at privileged communications of text messages with him. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. You think he would just stop at sharing text messages? I mean, who would wiretap their own attorneys and record calls with their own attorneys? Who would be so effing dumb? Do, 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 do. I don't know. Who would be that fucking stupid? Oh, that's right. That's right. The sewer turtle. He was that stupid. And he in fact recorded phone calls between him and his attorneys. Like the jackass that he is. Mr. Betterow, do you have no self-respect? Mr. Bradle does it. I already knew that. That was not within question. Mr. Bradle never, in my opinion, had any integrity. You know, or ethics. But Mr. Betterow, sir, don't you think you should take your purple crayon and go home now? Take your ball back to your court? I mean, how many more embarrassing things need to happen before you tap out, sir? You know, I mean, just wondering. So I've talked with Matt before. Not recently, but before. And he seems like a very level-headed dude. Matt Valentines, he gave Aiden a lot of opportunity that Aiden squandered. And it's part of the problem that I have with a lot of these people is they're given quite a lot of opportunity that other people are not afforded. And instead of taking that opportunity and doing something ultimately good with it, they squander it, right? Mr. Willie Henry has a car outside his home he cannot drive. He made all that money during the Karen Reed case, but still had someone else pay for his plane tickets and his hotel stays when he came out here. And in return for those people helping him out, even though he was raking it in, what he was doing with it, I don't know. Couldn't pay for your own flight, your own hotel while you were making all that money and you're living in your mother's basement. Like, where's your money going? It's not going to car payments. You can't drive. Where is it going? Right? Where is it going? Where's it going? The Air Juans? Nope. That's right. Someone else bought those for you. So someone else is paying for your clothes, your flights, your hotels, and a car for you. And you do what with any of it? You don't help someone else. You don't treat people with the respect or kindness they deserve. The people that did all of that for you. Instead, the sewer turtle doesn't like them because, well, petty jealousy, or they called him on one of his behaviors or something like that. And you, like the coward that you are, immediately spit in the face of the people who helped you make all that money and get to where you are. Esty, Nan, you couldn't treat them with human decency for the hand up that they gave you, right? Or in turn, help someone else, even in a small way. Instead, you had to crawl so far up the sewer turtle's ass, he could spit you out. And when we here on the Twisted Tragedy show asked you how it was up there, up the sewer turtle's ass, your response, sir, was warm. What in the actual fuck goes through some of these people's minds? Yeah, to be his baby back, bitch. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Because if he doesn't, what are the consequences? Well, the consequences are he loses subscribers, he loses money, he loses quite a bit because the sewer turtle will just step on his neck and squeeze. So it's either be his bitch or get squeezed. I would rather get fucking squeezed. I am nobody's bitch. I am nobody's, enforcer. I am not going to do someone else's dirty work. I'm certainly not going to control what I say or do for someone else. That is cowardly. No, thank you. No freaking thank you. Yeah, he couldn't get a ham, right? Can't get a ham. I mean, if you go to some of those streams that he does still to this day, super chat, super sticker, super chat, Venmo, Cash App, super chat. You can't buy a ham? Sir, I make not even an eighth of probably what you do. And I scrape for whatever I need to get, right? If I have to work 6 days a week to do it and do multiple $0 streams, it just takes one stream to get a ham. One, right? One person sending a Venmo or a Cash App could buy that ham, sir. I'm sure you could have bought 67 fucking hams. Meanwhile, in Sewer Turtle Land, he is telling everybody he's going to take a month off. Well, sir, thank you for letting everyone know that you don't actually need their money for your legal stuff, because nobody who could afford in real life to take a month off would do so, right? So that means you could afford to take a month off, which means you can afford to pay your own legal bills, sir. So clearly you don't need money as badly as you always claim, which we already knew, at least most of us with brain cells knew. But thank you for confirming that you do not need the money in the way that you keep lying to these poor people who are giving it to you. You're not in need. You're not working poor. You're not lower income like my family or some of your families. You're just a liar. If you could take a whole month off, that means you do not need the money. So pay your own goddamn legal bills then. Well, that was my point, is that he just took a giant shit on the people that helped him get where he was. And for what? For what? To crawl up the sewer turtle's asshole? That was, I mean, what kind of nonsense? Does that sound like a good idea? Like, it doesn't sound like a good idea at all. You couldn't just even treat people with a little bit of kindness and respect. It's not like these people were asking for anything in return. They weren't like, here's a ticket and here's a hotel room. I'm going to need you to do this, this, and this, or else. No, they didn't do it sewer turtle style. They gave to you out of the kindness of their hearts. They didn't give to you and say, you need to do this, this, or this. But you couldn't even treat them with the kindness and respect that that charitable act deserves, right? As soon as the sewer turtle said, man, I don't think I like that person anymore because they're not bowing down to me, you, like an absolute fucking idiot, decided you were going to disparage those very same people that gave you a helping hand. Sad. Shows where your integrity is. That you're so afraid of the sewer turtle and what he will do to try to squash you, that you would rather do whatever he says than treat anyone with the kindness and respect that they deserve for helping you. You were right. I mean, a lot of us were kind of on the money on some of that stuff, but even if you tried to sue Cosgrove, here's the thing. He has prosecutorial immunity, so there is no court, in my opinion, that wouldn't take him off of that suit anyway. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to get him removed. I don't think it would have ever gotten him removed. I think it's a nice thought that, Mr. Bradle and Mr. Betterow had there to try to screw Cosgrove. But I don't think it was ever going to happen or him to be removed in any capacity. It will never work. Motion will absolutely be denied. And I don't even have to say with certainty, 100% certainty, in my opinion. Again, that's my opinion. You guys are right. Stop and rocket him out. Oh, I love you, Christina. It should cause sanctions. I don't think it will, just because this is Massachusetts and, they don't like to hold lawyers accountable these days. But I do believe that with a lot of public pressure, the BBO might not have any other fucking choice but to do something. I agree with you here. There's some unknown variables to that as well. Do you know if he'll actually get in trouble this time, or are things going to keep coming out and nothing happens? I know that feels frustrating for you and for everyone else. Believe me, I get it. Okay. But a lot of the times, his attorneys, they're like, they have no argument. So their whole thing is to just delay, 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 delay. Right. And so a lot of delaying is happening. Here's the thing. Mr. Sewer Turtle picks up new charges. He can have his bail revoked. Now, revoking bail, okay, does not mean that he's just going to sit in jail forever, right? Could be 60, 90 days, and then they could give him an actual bail, whatever, right? But it does give some consequences. The last 60 days taught him nothing, right? He loves to dish it out, but did you know he, ran apparently again, and this is, I cannot confirm this, but this is what was told to me, to the police station again on his birthday, the day after Christmas, to bitch and whine about more false reports that he wanted to file. People said mean words to him on the internet, and he didn't like it, and he now says that that is harassment, which is the entire crux of his goddamn defense and argument, which is that mean words on the internet and saying your name on the internet is not harassment. So which one is it, Aiden? Can't have it both ways, sir. Is it or is it not harassment? Because if it's a harassment like you're claiming now, well, isn't that what you did to the witnesses and about probably 1,000 other people on planet Earth? I mean, but if it's what you're saying and it's your defense, in your case is that it's just words and mean words on the internet, aren't harassment, then why are you going to the police station, sir? Make it make sense, That's so weird. I don't understand it. That is so weird. We're gonna figure this out for you. I promise. Which one? The one from last night or the one from the night before? Sorry, my twubby came in to ask me if I wanted my Sangi right now or later, and I said later because I was with you guys. And I hope that you guys did. I was overwhelmed with emails and text messages from you guys about our last stream, and I shared all of your messages with my husband, and he was just laughing. He was so happy. He was like, "Well, am I famous now?" I said, "Sir, I'm not even famous." Of course, he was kidding, but he absolutely appreciated everybody's messages about him, and he felt very flattered. Yes, girl, do that. So you can be like, I said this. Who said this? We did. Definitely take those screenshots. But no, I didn't see last night's. I watched some of the one from the night before, but the kids would be ragged, Yeah, that shit has got me. And I've never spoken to any of the guys over there at JFK, but that shit that they peddled about James's girlfriend that passed away is probably some of the most reprehensible, disgusting things I've seen them do besides go after children and people's jobs, which is just as bad. It pisses me the hell off. It's unacceptable on every level, on every fucking level. Oh my God, they're leaking her autopsy. I mean, why would James lie? It's like, what you like, they just automatically assume, like, that's just insane. Like, first of all, why does it matter how someone died anyway? Why is that even relevant? My fiance died in a house fire in 2006. How is it relevant how he died? It doesn't make sense. Girl, so do I. I'm like, shit, I predicted that. But to be fair, I predicted all of the things that are happening right now up to 2 years ago. Like all of my past streams, you can go and watch and be like, wow, we said this a long time ago that this was going to happen. And here we are. And people who have been with me a really long time, like Maestro, can tell you, like, I've been warning people for a really long time, Oh, the courts will come a knocking for those assets. He seems to think that, he can hide things in places. It's like, dude, it's the government. They will come and they will take it, Yeah, the state can use those. Yes. Can the state use the text that they were trying to get Cosgrove off like it's a game? Yes, the state can use those. They're now out in the public. So privilege has been waived in that manner at this point, High possibility of her catching charge for lying under oath. People can hate her if they want. The justice system ain't no joke. She needs to protect herself. I mean, I would protect myself at all costs, especially from these people, because Aiden will flip and turn on anyone. Doesn't matter who it is. His own family. I have no doubt. This is the shit he does. unfortunately. It is so cold, girl. It's so cold. You should definitely make it make sense. That's something you should definitely get framed 100%. 100%. Frame it! So I spit my coffee out this morning when I watched this clip. Hold on, I gotta find it for you guys because it's pretty funny. Hold on. Oh, 44 inches, yeah. Listen, I had to measure the inseam and outseam, and since my husband is always commenting on the size of my large ass, I figured I would measure it, like I just want to see how many inches, man. I just want to see. It's 44. So now that's what he says, on my wish list for Christmas is a size 44 that ass. And I said, "Oh, you're so funny." He is too much. I can't. I can't. I have to see. I didn't watch last night. Oh, thank you, Jim. That was so nice of you. I appreciate that. I mean, this is stuff I sent him in here too, even on spaces or here. I feel like a broken record sometimes, I really do. I honestly feel like a broken record. Like I'm just saying the same things over and over and over, but it's like, if I don't, right, the people who are just tuning in aren't hearing it. So it sucks, it sucks. I feel like I have to repeat myself, It is scary and it's dangerous and it makes me afraid for those who haven't seen it yet, who are still sort of, making excuses for him, simping for him. Like it makes me sad for them, honestly sad, because they're the people who are going to get hurt in the long run when it comes to him. I feel like I've been saying it for so fucking long at this point, And there were others before me and during that were doing the same thing and saying it, It's just like, damn. I feel like, yeah, at this point right now, yes, more people are waking up. And I am so happy about that because the more people that can steer clear of that piece of human garbage and his crew, the better. Because it's the less people that can get hurt, less people are flushing their money down a drain, all of that. But there are so many, hey, Shannon, that are just still. I know exactly what you mean. That still are just lost in all of it. And I don't know if it's because they're still brainwashed, they're being willfully ignorant, or both. Turtleboy. We call him sewer man here. He's the sewer boy. I'm going to show those too because I feel like not everybody has X, right? And so for those of you who don't have X, I am going to delve into it for you because not everyone has it and they probably want to see it. And I love that. I love that you do that, right? I love that a lot of people do that. Jesse goes to other places, and a lot of the times it's for me because I can't stomach the bullshit and the lies from other people. And so again, my mods do God's work. Honestly, they do. Crocheting. I freaking love that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's they won't listen or they're just so brainwashed. Like so brainwashed. And that's the other thing. I don't want to hear him say anything about Proctor ever again with the shit that he says and does. It's just ridiculous at this point. He wants to talk about fighting corruption. He is corruption. Aiden is corruption at this point. There is no one, and I mean no one at this point, who is more anti Karen Reed than he is. He's not for anti corruption. That whole fifth thing is a bit weird. Like, bro, what other option would he have? The fact that his own attorneys are so unaware, at least Bradel, is so unaware that putting him on a stand would have destroyed him is amazing to me. Literally amazing. Unless Bradel is so much of a narcissist himself that he doesn't see the narcissistic in Aiden, which is just even scarier. Maybe that's why Bradel has no ethics, in my opinion. I don't know. But in those messages, Bettero is saying like, well, he's going to have to like plead the fifth. And Bradel's like, well, I know you're joking on that because that's what they want. They want him to plead the fifth. Like, no, we want him to answer questions, you idiot. And if you can't, well, yeah, plead the fifth then. You got something that you don't want to incriminate yourself on. Cool, plead the fifth. I will like to point out that no one else in the Karen Reed case pled the fifth, including Karen herself or the witnesses. The only person in that entire scenario that pled the fifth was Aiden. I can't wait to get up there. Hank's not going to know what to do with me. I'm going to destroy him. And then what happened? Oh, and then he pled the fifth like the baby back bitch that he is. Just saying. Just saying. Girl, I'm still half stuck on stupid. Whole goddamn Christmas. I'm tired still. Yeah, I'm gonna show them. I'm on Chris's thing right now. Hey Jackie, nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome. People keep being surprised by things that are eventually proven with video or text evidence, but in my opinion, it's either they're not paying attention or do not want to believe logical conclusions. A lot of it is not wanting to believe logical conclusions because he's lied so much. You're like, why would he do that? That's so stupid. And that's part of the problem, right? Is they're like, no one would be that stupid to wiretap their own attorneys. No one would be that stupid to do this, this, and this. No one would be that stupid to put it in writing. And again, if you go back to my streams over 2 years ago, I am literally telling you he's done this, 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 and this. Can't show your receipts right now because it would out some of the victims. But I'm telling you, he did these things. And here we are. And now all of these things that I already said happened are happening. And to other people. So there are more receipts. I hate to say I told you so. And other people as well. I'm not the only one who was telling people, like, watch out for this guy. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. He's a gaslighter. He cares only about himself. He'll burn everyone and anyone. He will throw you under the bus if he thinks it'll save himself, even if he has to lie to do it. Even if he has to say, hey, you, Mike Crawford, take this wiretapped audio that I'm not going to tell you is wiretapped, and please distribute this for me, sir. Why can't you distribute it yourself, Aiden? He totally tried to set up Mike Crawford in the same way that he did to Chrissy Yakomowski. And what did Chrissy Yakomowski get for all the loyalty that she held for him for so long? She got a federal wiretapping charge. And Aiden not only lying to the courts, but lying to the cops and saying he had no idea any of it happened. He's the one who told her to do it, by the way. And she was like, hey, isn't that illegal? And he was like, nope. Then someone else said to him, isn't that illegal? And he was like, doesn't matter because I'm not the one doing it. Ha ha ha. Basically setting up his friend to take the hit if something bad happened, which eventually did. And so when she came clean about all the things that he was doing and handed that evidence over to other people, he went full scorched earth and went into court, lied, testified against her, lied some more. Why haven't they got him on perjury on that one? You know what I mean? Like, they could have charged him with a lot of other things by now. There's a lot of outstanding things they could have charged his ass with. Now, no wonder why he's looking out his windows for Silverados every day. If I were him, I sure would be too, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are, indictment days and all. I'd definitely be peeping out those windows, Tuesdays and Thursdays and all. Just saying, just saying. Yeah, I mean, no one's going to, I don't think anybody's going to change anybody's mind unless you have a deep conversation about all of it. And a civil one, right? But we're not going into chats to change people's minds on the Karen Reed case. I go in there because a lot of you are in there and I enjoy watching other people's content on other things besides the Karen Reed stuff. And so, I'm a creator, but I also enjoy other people's content when they're doing other cases and other things, Didn't take his car last night and no one knew where he was. Oh, I guarantee you he's making another video. I'm just going to disappear if you don't do X, Y, and Z. But yeah, you must have missed it. You just popped in, Jim. But I was saying earlier that he was telling people he might take a month off. And it's like, oh, if you can afford to do that, cool. Then saying he might not be able to afford. He absolutely can afford to take a month off. He absolutely can. He just rethought about that after people were like, well, wait a second. Didn't you say you need all this money for your legal defense right now? No, he doesn't. He absolutely could take a month off if he wanted. But that's the point, is he doesn't want people to know that he doesn't need it. He needs people to think he is in desperate need of that money, when that is not the case. If that was the case, he wouldn't be looking for a house to buy. Just saying. That money would go to his legal defense. And to be fair, the fact that you're looking for a house to buy at the same time that you're asking other people to help you fund your legal defense when you keep committing crimes while you're out on bail is so fucking insane. That lack of self-awareness is absolutely effing mind-blowing. Mind-blowing that someone is that tone deaf. I don't get it. I don't get it. people don't have access. Here's the thing. Usually when he does this whole like, oh, my things people are accessing my stuff. This is the hacking times 5. This is the hacking 100. Sir, usually what happens is he knows that he sent someone something and they shared it with someone else, and he knows eventually that's going to leak out. And so what he does is he tries to get ahead of it by being like, someone else has had access to my stuff, so that when eventually it leaks out, he can be like, it was these people who had access to my stuff. It wasn't me that sent it to 75 people, and one of those people got a conscience and sent it to someone else. It was one of these people who had access to my stuff. It was everyone else but me. I mean, sir, no one else is running around trying to catch felonies like they're fucking Pokemon. Like, still looking for that elusive Snorlax, sir. All right. You want to get to that really big felony, hashtag FelonFlix, the subscription service for Aiden that everyone subscribes to is bullshit. It is called FelonFlix. Most of us have Netflix, Paramount Plus, Tubi, Disney Plus. Aiden runs a subscription service called FelonFlix, folks. You have to subscribe to his bullshit to be a part of FelonFlix. And then he runs around trying to catch more felonies like they're the elusive Snorlax from Pokemon. He's got to catch them all. Pokemon. Like, come on, man. I don't know anyone else who's running around on bail trying to commit more blackmail, threats, intimidation, witness like wiretap. What fucking world do we live in? Like, what the hell? See, that's the problem, right? When he said Bettero was quitting, I had no doubt in my mind that he was, because it was something I had actually said like the day before that any self-respecting attorney at this point would have no choice but to walk away from Aiden. If you had any self-respect as an attorney, you would have to walk away. And I've said that a billion times, and I never thought Bradel would, because I just don't think he has any ethics, to be honest. I think he's a shady fuck. But I absolutely 100% thought that maybe Bettero would think better of it and his career and maybe want to keep it. But I absolutely knew when she put that post up that he 100% probably told her that, because any self-respecting attorney would have been questioning him at that point and realizing that he is just a liar. Why do you need to hear the voicemail? And then even when some of them were, remember, YBE, then it was, oh, it's AI. AI can do. It's not AI. The one with Brian LTL, it's not AI. It's real. Those are real voice notes that he is sending other people. And then, of course, they blamed Meredith. She's wiretapped a conversation between her and him. Newsflash, those are not conversations with Meredith. Just so we're clear, those are not conversations with Meredith. Okay? Just not. Afternoon. The gaslighting is so much. It's so much. Hello, Sarah. I agree that, again, if he has any self-respect, he will drop him. He should have already at this point. And just maybe when those wiretap phone conversations come out, maybe that will be the straw that broke the camel's back. Because, I mean, who the fuck wiretaps their attorneys? Oh, Aiden does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. He records phone conversations with attorneys like an absolute idiot, because I don't know anyone with a brain cell that does that. Why would you need to record phone conversations with your attorneys? Why would you need to do that? That is insanity. Ooh, let's see. Who posted it? Oh, okay, good. I'll just refresh Chris's stuff. Okay. Got it. Yeah, he's far from financially unstable. And what has he done with all that money? Does he help anyone? Like, not that any of us need to like toot our own horn or, anything like that. But I'm going to bet that half the people, at least in this chat alone, probably help someone on a monthly basis at least, even if they don't have it to give. I know I try to, and I certainly don't have it to give, but I try because it's the right thing to do, right? It's the right thing. Oh, it's a dog toy. I'm like, what the hell? I heard like squeak, squeak, squeak. And I'm like, what the hell? And it's my neighbor with the dog and the dog toy. I mean, it's everyone else. It's all self-inflicted. All of it is self-inflicted, but it's everyone else's fault. He has to blame everyone else so that everybody throws that pity party for him. What about all of the people who he has harmed financially and otherwise? I fall into that category. And still to this day, he will threaten people who donate to my channel to stop them from doing it, which is why I read you guys donations anonymously half the time. It's unacceptable, right? I'm a small channel. I'm not a large channel. I'm a small channel. So it makes it even harder for smaller channels like me when you have someone like that pushing propaganda and lies and pity parties, and then behind closed doors threatening people who donate to people you don't like. Why? Because any dollar out of someone else's pocket, you know, into someone else's pocket is his. At least that's the way he thinks, right? So if I tell truth about him and people start figuring it out, that's less dollars in his pocket. Well, don't lie, and you don't have to worry about that. Most of us don't have to sit there and remember 72 lies because, well, gee, we don't have to lie on a daily basis. Maybe try that, sir. Maybe try not lying for a living, and maybe try just telling the truth. Oh, he bragged about expensive. See, I don't watch him. Expensive Christmas gifts. I don't get expensive Christmas gifts, but what I did get was from the heart and from people I care about. Like Scorpio got me these slippers and I freaking love them. And as you guys saw, my husband was wearing them the other day. They're super comfy and I love them. They don't need to be $1,000 slippers. They came from someone who went on to my wish list and said, I am going to get Elise something for Christmas and I'm going to get her something that I think she'll like from her wish list. And that's what matters. It doesn't matter if it was $1 or $1,000. Is getting an expensive Christmas gift nice? Yeah, it's nice, but most of us are poor, and so we can't afford that, right? So for me, it doesn't matter if it was homemade. My grandmother made this for me, and it means more to me than anything. She's passed on now, but it's a little Christmas sleigh. And after my grandfather died, she used to go to painting classes with more people her age. And she used to paint and make things. And even for my friend's son, when my friend's son was born, she made him a train with the letters of his name. A friend that I had been friends with for a really long time. So she was kind of like family to us. And so this little Christmas piece that I take good care of, that I've had for over a decade now, my grandmother's been gone 8 years, means a lot to me. And it probably wasn't more than a couple bucks. She used to sign her initials on all of the things that she painted or made on it, and hers are on the bottom, MLC. And this little guy means more to me. Sorry, we were buffering, but it means more to me than anything. One of the last Christmas gifts my grandmother gave me was a pair of Uggs, and Christmas hand towels. And to this day, I have not unwrapped those Christmas hand towels. They're still in their circular position with the tag still in it, the plastic piece still in it, holding them together, because I just don't have the heart to use them or open them. And they're face gloves, but I usually put them in here as decoration, at the top during Christmas time because it means something to me. She made it for me, knowing that I love that kind of stuff and knowing that one day she wouldn't be around, but that it would remind me of her and put a smile on my face. And that's all that matters. So, and I love, if you didn't notice, all the time he gets his children Christmas gifts, it's things that he wants. Who buys Celtics tickets for a girl that wants nothing to do with the Celtics? He didn't buy the Celtics tickets so that they were for his kids. He bought it so that he could have the experience. You don't buy gifts for people to have the experience for yourself. You buy them because it's something that they would want. But again, that's the way a narcissist works. So, and Tully laughing at her for it. For the love of God. I don't think he pays for dinner and drinks. Who he doesn't. Yeah. I've heard he's cheap, not just from her, but from a bunch of other people who dated him, Said the other day he has never published recordings. He makes one. Well, Aiden, you are using it as blackmail. That's the point, isn't it? He released many recordings. So that's the thing, is that's what he wants to do with those. That's why he sends them to other people, so he can feign ignorance later on and be like, well, I didn't release it, so that any heat gets put on someone else in the same way that it did to Chrissy. That's why he sent them to Mike and didn't tell Mike they were wiretapped, didn't tell Mike they were altered. Mike can't prove it, right? Like, they were altered. They were wiretapped. That's what he did. And he didn't care as long as Mike was going to be the one to take the heat for that, not himself, I mean, it's not hard. Felon flicks. Yep. I'm telling you. Hashtag felon flicks. I love this shirt. I know the clowns. Dun, 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 dun. Well, we know he did. He leaked it, and we know who he leaked it to. And we already knew that before Meredith said it publicly. We already knew that long before that. He loves Proton emails. If you go back a couple of years, even in his streams, he talks about Proton. He uses Proton emails. His logic is extremely faulty because it relies on everyone being an idiot, right? It relies on everyone buying his shit so often and all the time that he can continue to lie and say the same shit over and over and over. And that's totally okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Lana has all the texts you know you could buy right now, but something on Friday night date. Which texts? The ones that the ones that I showed months ago at this point. I mean, I did an entire stream on the hackening a while back. Lana picked them up after that, but that's something that's been out there for quite a long time now, and a lot of other stuff too, But you're right. It's his logic is faulty. But what he does is he goes, okay, well, if my followers, they're not going to think I'm that stupid to do that. So I'm going to do that. Right. That's what he does. And then he feigns the ignorance. Oh, I would never be that dumb. I would never do such a thing. And then just lie straight to their faces. How many times does he have to lie to your face before you guys realize that he is constantly lying to your face? And not just about little things, but about big things too. That all of the people that he attacks, he's attacking for very simple reasons. Sometimes petty jealousy, sometimes because they know too much. And if they speak the truth and he loses money and followers, he cannot have that. So in turn, he has to use rumor mills and bullshit he makes up, cherry pick screenshots, made up emails, so on and so forth to disparage people and make them bad. And he's written this in personal texts that you'll see if his stuff comes to trial, where he has literally told people that his whole idea around this is to attack someone first. Now, it's awfully stupid to attack someone first in the way that he did Meredith if someone has that kind of information on you. But this is something he's been doing for a long time, and it has worked over and over and over. So what he does is he attacks the person first, tells everyone they're bad, uses made up, fake, or cherry-picked text messages where he takes his parts out or any context out, spins the context to something that it completely is not, makes a mountain out of a molehill, so on and so forth, and then tells everyone this person is bad so that his mob in turn attacks that person. So then when that person does try to say, whoa, guys, hold the hell on, this is what's really going on, no one listens to them. He just claims they have turtle derangement syndrome. They just don't like me and they're a ratchet. Therefore, no one can listen to them or what they have to say. They're just ratchets that hate Turtleboy. So they're just haters. No one should listen to anything they say. And like good little doggies and good little cultists, that exactly is what most of them do. They go, oh, that person's just bad. They just hate Turtleboy. They just hate him and they just want to throw him in jail. Well, A, he belongs in jail because he keeps committing crimes. And if it were anyone else on planet Earth, that is what you would say. Even the people who think Karen Reed is innocent, if any of the witnesses did the things that Aiden is doing right this very second, you would be screaming from the rooftops how the DA needs to throw them in jail. So let's be honest here, okay? Let's just be honest. Yeah, he does think that saying free speech is going to work, even though Judge Doolin made it very, very clear in his last ruling that all the remaining charges have nothing to do with freedom of speech. It's crossed the line. It's into criminal conduct, And I agree, Jane. Massachusetts need to stand up against this criminal. Half the problem is the DA's office and the cops. No cop wants their personal phone gone through and to lose their career because a sewer turtle, says this person bad, this person corrupt. And so in my humble opinion, there are plenty of lawyers, DAs, and cops that just don't even want to deal with them. If it were anyone else, they'd be sitting behind bars right now. You want to talk about special treatment? It's more about fear treatment at this point. Well, hey, law enforcement, newsflash, it's your fucking job. You signed up for this shit. No one else did. You are supposed to protect everyone else against someone like him. That's what you signed up to do, right? Although the Supreme Court says that the police have no duty to protect anyone. Isn't that funny? Just saying. Because cops oftentimes will fall back on that whole, well, we have no duty to protect anybody because the Supreme Court said so thing. And they're not wrong. The Supreme Court did say that. But what the fuck would you be a cop for if you weren't there to protect people? Just saying. Come on now. Very shady fuck. Very shady fuck. I'm not either, but I've also been dealing with 2 years of this, including, death threats. And I feel like that's my new normal. Death threats, threats to my family and children. Like, it's fucking insane. Okay, all right, sorry. My bad. I'm working on it. All right. Let me get it up. Hold on. That's what she said. Hold on. Okay. I'm behind in the comments. I was trying to catch up here. It doesn't. Once it's shared, you've waived that privilege, Oh, you're so welcome. It meant something to me, and I hoped that it would mean something to you. I know I wanted to send each one of my mods something that said, I appreciate you in your own way. And so I needed it to be different for everyone. And that's what I did. I thought I got the best thing that I thought would show that I care and that I appreciate you all in your own. I didn't want to get everybody the same thing because it just doesn't, that doesn't say I took the time out to think of each of you in your own individual way. To me, it kind of screams like, oh, I just got you all the same thing. So for me, it was important for me to pick out something individual for each of you that meant something to me, and hopefully it'll mean something to you in a way to say, I appreciate you. You guys do amazing work. And I know the channel itself, our members, our subscribers, they appreciate all of you. Oh, thank you, Kathy. It is. It's priceless. Like, you can't even put a dollar sign on that. Hey, Mindy. I do have an Amazon wish list. I have to update. I mean, there's plenty of stuff on it. It's in the description of the video. You should be able to like click on it, I believe, but it is in there, or copy and paste it, but it's in there. Compromat Daddy and sarcasm because he collects recordings of people to use as blackmail, but that's a bit degrading towards KGB agents. He's definitely not as smart as those guys were at all. We do have a wish list, and I know we're like an hour and 59 minutes in, and I totally forgot to do this, but if you do want to support the channel and our independent media here, we rely solely on the donations of all of you to keep our channel running. It's the only way that we can do it, and so we very much appreciate any and all donations, and you can do it a bunch of different ways. We have super chats and super stickers, memberships to join the channel as a member. We have the more direct routes to any creator, which are the ones I always encourage you guys to give to any creator that you watch, because it goes directly to them right away, and that way they don't have to wait, and they don't have to wait for YouTube or Google or Apple to take a cut out of it, which are Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Revolut. We have Chime. Chime's the same as Cash App. And then we have the link that's pinned in the top of chat, and you can just click on that, and you can use any debit or credit card you want with that. You can remain anonymous doing donations at all. Sometimes I'll have some that'll come after the live stream, and then I'll just read them on the next one. So if I got any today, I would just read them on my next one tomorrow if I'm not live anymore when it comes in. I always love those ones because they're always when someone's like watching the replay, and it just lets me know in its own way that like someone's watching it and appreciates it even when I'm not live anymore. And so those ones always catch me off guard, but are always so heartwarming. Yeah, I agree, Scorpio. I agree. You can't fix stupidity either. No, you definitely can't. Definitely cannot. I'm going to read these. So let me see. They'll never get out from underneath. Otherwise, they'll be crushed by him. That's why. Oh, that's the thing. He lets you tell him stuff about yourself, and then later on, he uses it. He uses it to try to spin and change the way it is into something, but only he could make something good and kind something bad, right? But he's done that numerous times, right? Numerous times. Oh yeah, they love trying to take everything off of my wish list. But Amazon is keeping an eye on those people. They'll lose their accounts. They're not playing around with those people anymore. But yes, they love to do that, which is so weird because do you know how many creators have Amazon wish lists? And most of the time, the stuff that I put on my Amazon wish list, besides like clothes, which I do need, are things that I would use at home. Sometimes I'll throw a couple things on there for the kids, but they're things I would either want or need, mostly need. Of course, there's a couple wants. like there's gift cards. I don't drive, so the gift cards are, I think, Instacart, which is good for groceries, DoorDash, which is good for deliveries of anything, including like CVS when your kid is sick. And then Visa, because you can use those anywhere. I could use them at Uber and Lyft. And then I think there's either Lyft or Uber, because again, I don't drive. So that's our only sort of way to get around. And those are always super, super helpful. I don't think I have get one of those, but I mean, they're there for a reason, because it's something that I would need, But I agree with you. They don't want to deal with the cult, right? And also, yeah, honesty is not their policy, But that's the thing, right? They have nothing else. What are they going to say? You used to be an addict 18 years ago? Okay, well, I also worked in a prison. You don't see them talking about the fact that I worked in the prison and that was my career, do you? You never hear them talk about that. From someone who went from a prison cell, right, to someone working in the prison system, I went full circle, right? Someone who was an addict and very broken from my CPTSD and a lot of abuse as a kid into young adulthood, to someone who started working in the prison mental health system because I worked in a mental health prison. Not a lot of states have those. Massachusetts is lucky enough to have one. Most states don't have a mental health prison. They just have prison, and maybe there's a mental health counselor, but they don't have an entire prison dedicated to mental health. We do. We're lucky enough to have that. And I think one of the trolls yesterday was like, "You said healthcare was mental health was great." No, actually, as a matter of fact, I've said quite the opposite. That it needs to be worked on, in mental health services are a joke. But at least we have something, and it does help people, right? Not many states have that at all. Mental health as a whole needs to be worked on 100%. And I never said it was great, but it does help people, and we do have it. Not every state has that. But I mean, what else are they love mocking for the stupidest shit. Like, oh my God, she has a can opener on her Amazon wish list. Yes, because I could use a can opener. It's like, since when did what was on your Amazon wish list make content? I think there's like 3 big ticket wish list items, and they're both 2 out of the 3 of them are cameras that I can use for the show. Okay. None of the other one, they're all like, random other stuff for like the household. So it's like they don't have anything else to make on me. They're just gonna, we don't like your blue eyeshadow, Twisted. Cool, I don't like your face. That's fine. Your face is kind of punchable. So you don't have to like my blue eyeshadow. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit that they do is just so childlike. Can't argue the actual point, can you? Nope, sure can't. Aiden can't argue that he didn't wiretap these people. He can't argue that he didn't threaten people. He can't argue that he didn't blackmail people. So what do you do instead? Harp on how poor they are? Harp on that they don't drive? I mean, Mr. Willie Henry has an entire car outside he can't drive. At least if I had a car, I could drive it. Shit. Like, oh, thank you, Jane. Listen, I try to do what I can for others, and it's like, even if it's not money, right? We're all rich in something, whether it's, empathy, love, kindness, knowledge, right? And we can share that with other people, and it can help other people, and it doesn't have to cost a penny, That's so nice, Jackie. Thank you. I just asked Mr. Better on if he still has client attorney privilege on the leaked messages. If he doesn't answer, I'll ask a real lawyer. They're leaked, so you waived your privilege at that point. It's been waived. You are waiving it once it's and the attorney can't waive it. Only the client can, and the client waived it the second he sent it to other people, and then they shared it. Oh yeah, it's perfect gaslighting. It's just me and you here, bro. Tell me, what he wanted him to get to admit was that he had the video of Enrique Delgado. And in my opinion, what Aiden was trying to do there was strong arm Brian out of it if he had it. That's what he was trying to fucking do, because he needed to be somebody to drop a new case, right? Like, that's what he wanted out of it. Let's be honest. He was being selfish. We appreciate you. No, I would have picked up on it by now if you were trolling. Believe me, I'm pretty good at like keeping a close eye on someone I think is trolling. And just announcing you being here and that you're watching usually is a good indicator that you're not just trolling. A lot of the times people who come in here don't just come in and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm new here. Usually it's, what's going on here? Don't you think this, or this? And then they just start spitting like Aiden talking points that are completely false and make themselves look ridiculous at that point. So usually it's pretty easy to tell if someone's trolling or not. Oh, thank you, Shay. It makes me mad what Will speaks alone. He has spewed nasty stuff about her since trial one. I mean, I've ignored a lot of shit he said too, but it's just what he does because, I mean, anybody telling the truth about Aiden is a problem, you know? Yeah, same old shit over and over and over. It is cool that they have a prison like that, and not all places have it. Most places actually don't have it, you know? I mean, that's crazy. Who says that? It'll affect your money in your account, but it's like you either choose to keep telling the truth and not let that deter you. And I mean, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's hard. It's hard. It is. It's hard. When you're losing money that you can't afford to lose, or you're losing subscribers you can't afford to lose simply because people are believing a bunch of lies and rumors that he's telling so that no one listens to the actual truth that you're telling, it gets frustrating. It really does. Because he will go to the length of like threatening people privately and being like, I saw you donated to Twisted. If you do that again, I'm going to release this thing about your kid when they got arrested in 1989. Like, no one wants to deal with that. You know what I mean? No one does. And so he does it in a roundabout way, and he also does it in a public and a private way to try to deter people from supporting you in any way. Something he's been doing for a long time, but you either let it get to you and you give up, or like me, you suck it up and you just deal with it, even though it sucks. What are the alternatives? Me abandoning all of the other victims who have come to me who don't have a voice of their own because he's either blackmailed them, threatened them, what's the alternative? I refuse to give up on other people or myself simply because he's a bad person. I will never give in to someone like him. He cannot control what I say or do, which drives him absolutely fucking bonkers because, there's not many people who he can't control with a couple, threats. Well, they do hear what they want to hear, and then they put whatever excuse he gives them on it. And a lot of the times he gets his excuses from them. He gets his excuses from his own supporters. Well, they'll think up an excuse and he'll be like, ooh, that sounds like a good one. And then he'll use it. you know? Oh, yeah. It's absolutely diabolical. It's absolutely diabolical, Right? Like, exactly. I love when they attack my looks. I'm like, bro, I was a stripper for 10 years. You can attack my look until the cows come home, honey. Listen, I may not be a supermodel, but I know I'm not an ugly girl. So you're just making me chuckle at that point. Right? You're making me chuckle. I'm married with children. Like, you're literally making me chuckle if you want to make fun of my looks. I'm fucking 39. Like, yes, I have gray hair. Yes, I have psoriasis. I am now fucking old. KK? Like, but one thing I can tell you is I am not an ugly girl. I've never had a problem a day in my life getting a man, and I never would. So you can make fun of my looks all I want, but I clearly know it's just a way to attack. I know who I am. See, I don't need other people to tell me. Unlike some people, I don't need people to tell me who I am. I know who I am. And a lot of you have gotten to know who I am. It's like, it just makes me chuckle at that point, Shay, as you should chuckle at them as well. Thank you, Jim, to seeing the channel continuing to grow and for a great start to 2026. Oh, I love that. Thank you. All right, let's get to some of these. Who bought him a car? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure that it was him that bought the car. Although I am hearing some whispers and rumors that it was Mr. Reed that bought him the car. Not sure, but he could have certainly bought 7 cars with the amount of money he made during the Karen Reed trial. Hey, Chris, can anyone confirm if it's true Bettero is still TB's counsel? Well, legally speaking, he is, unless he withdraws on paper, and that would be in the file. Then legally speaking, he is still the attorney of record until he files paperwork to withdraw. And then, and only then, would we be able to say he is no longer counsel for Aiden, Oh, thank you, Jackie. That was really nice. I'm trying to get down to the bottom of these, just so I don't miss any, but I feel like I'm failing at this. Oh, thank you, Kathy. I unfortunately have been trying to warn people for a really long time now. And I did the stream not that long ago that said I wish they had listened. And I really do wish that people had listened, because it would have saved a lot of people a lot of heartache, a lot of aggravation, a lot of mental and emotional destruction from dealing with constant lies, you know? Oh, thank you. Jackie sends $20 and says, new supporter. I appreciate you, my friend. That was very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. I mean, I've been trying to warn people for over 2 years. I feel like, God, if people had just listened, you know, so many people would have been saved. The threats and the blackmail and the aggravate and the lies and the rumors and their families, and you know, it's all I've ever wanted is for people to just listen and just stay away from him so that they're not the next victim. That's it. I don't give a shit how much money he makes or doesn't make. Just fucking stay away from him, bro. There are going to be some people that believe his bullshit no matter what. And in the end, those are the future victims of his. And only then maybe they will start to realize like that they're victims, right? And there's nothing I can do about that. But he loves to talk shit about people in a way where people automatically, and I've seen this happen even in my case, where people have come to me later on to apologize and said, I really just want to apologize. I never actually even gave your channel a chance. He said you were bad, and I don't know why I believed him. I just automatically did. And then I finally one day was like, you know what? I'm going to check out our channel. And they were like, I didn't find the monster or bad person that he kept peddling. And I'm like, it's because it doesn't exist. You know, it doesn't exist. Never did. Never did. He got mad I didn't lie for him. That is what blew him up when it came to me, is I did not lie for him, and he got caught cheating on his wife and 3 other women at the time. And that blew up in his face with the women, of course. And so because I didn't lie for him and he got outed, that was then my fault. Not his fault for his behavior, but my fault for accidentally outing him. It's not my job to lie for him. It's not anyone's job. And once you do, you lose your integrity and your credibility. And I am not willing to do that for anyone. Certainly not him. He wasn't a friend. He was an acquaintance, somebody who was covering the same case as me that I saw in the same places. But even that, there's no reason for me to have to lie for you when you're doing shit that's shady and fucked up, right? It's not my job to lie for you. So if you don't lie for him, that's when he comes around with the threats. That's when he comes around with the, I'm going to tell people this. Go ahead. Listen, I've been very open about the fact that I used to be a dancer. He wouldn't know that if I didn't announce that myself on my own channel. The fact that I used to be an addict, once again, not something he would know unless I announced it. And that I've been sober going on close to 19 years now. Things that he would not know about me if I didn't share them with all of you. And I share them not as a shitty thing, but as a way to show people that you can deal with a lot of awful, terrible things and walk through fire and hell in your life and brimstone and make it out the other side. And life isn't always peaches and roses. It's not always rainbows and piss and glitter, right? Like it sucks sometimes and it's hard and but just know you're not alone, right? If I can do it, you can do it. And my door is always open if anybody needs that kind of mental or emotional support, right? Like I will answer messages from anyone. I will take emails from anyone. I will answer pretty much anyone who has messaged me, unless it somehow gets lost in spam and then I don't realize it. But eventually I'll find it. Nonetheless, I answer everyone. I just want people to know that they're not alone. I don't share my story as a way for someone like him to twist my pain and my trauma, pretty horrific trauma, into something to make me a bad person because I went through all of that. Because he leaves that part out, right? He's like, oh, she was a drug addict. I love when people call me crackheads too. Like, never done crack a day in my life. That's how dumb y'all are. You just listen to whatever he says. Like, nope, sorry, not a thing. Not a thing, not in my world. Sorry, not sorry. But he uses it a way to make people bad. I use it as a way to uplift people. I don't have to share those things about my life. I do because I want people to know they're not alone and that I've been through hell too. And they're not the only one. And if they ever need someone to talk to, they're having a hard time, like my door is always open, you know? Oh, absolutely. He's not real. They are bleeding him dry, you know? And that's fine. That's fine. That's what they do, you know? He is just a walking, talking, legal, you know, piggy bank at this point for them, you know? I don't blame you, girl. Listen, I don't blame you at all. Don't blame you at all. There's a lot of you here, and there's also a lot of people who don't think that Karen's innocent. But see how we coexist? Yeah, people were paying for them. Well, you're right. Do you see though? Do you see how we coexist here? We coexist. We don't have to agree on one case to not harm each other, right? Yeah, of course. Me neither. You know what I mean? Me neither. Just by these idiots. And it is a projection. They're insecure, you know? Yeah, he did smash it up. He certainly did. He got in an accident with it. He did. And then the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, he hit something coming out of his garage too, like the absolute fucking genius he is. A monster is such a nice word, I feel like, you know? Thank you again, Jackie. That was very nice of you. You know? Yeah, I find that not only short-sighted, but extremely closed-minded and a little strange. That people would say, I can never talk to anybody who thought Karen was guilty. How that's horrible and terrible. It's like, that's not normal. FYI, that's not normal. That kind of thinking is not normal. That's the kind of thinking Aiden wanted, the us versus them. He needed that. He needed that drama and that shock jock to make money, right? That's not normal for everyday life. You don't disagree with every family member who has a different favorite color than you and then try to destroy their lives or say you could never be friends with your friends who have different political views or a different religion. That's not normal, right? It would be the same would apply to other people that you don't even know. There are so many missed connections, missed relationships, missed friendships, missed and misinformation in general, right? Simply because of the hate and vitriol and anger that man spreads. A lot of people have started to wake up, and I am so happy about that. But there are still so many that are stuck. If I had a penny for every time someone emailed me or DM'd me or got my number and texted me and said, Elise, I just want to apologize to you. Like, I could now recognize from being on the outside of it that I was in a cult. It is very cult like. It's mob mentality. I just believed whatever he said. I went with what everyone else said. I never checked. I didn't go and look. I just automatically believed it, and I would like to apologize. I'm embarrassed by the things that I did and said. I don't know how I could have been duped. I'm not a stupid person. It's not about being a stupid person. Very highly intelligent people, okay, were duped and sucked into a cult. It's okay to admit that it's a cult-like mentality and behavior because that's Aiden's goal, okay? It always has been and always will be. It's how he has operated since before 2018, you know? Right. So many people are going to agree and disagree on so many other cases. We can still follow them together. We can still give great insight to each other. We can still agree on other things, right? Like that's how normal life works without making fun of each other's looks, without calling each other's jobs and making fun of people's kids. Like, I mean, that's not normal behavior. You know? I love Deidre and Babs. I love them both dearly, you know? Future victims or accomplices. And that's the problem, right? Is some of them end up being accomplices and they don't even realize it because he uses them like little pawns. And then later on, they're like, I can't believe I allowed him to use me in that way. Even when they kind of know, it's like it's right there. It's right there. And the light bulb's almost going off. And that's half the problem with cults is it literally takes time and sometimes years in some cases to deprogram someone. There is a literal deprogramming stage when you come out of a cult-like mentality like that, you know? Literally. How will Melanie Little feel then? Probably not good. And I don't even know why she's still supporting him. You know, I don't even know, you know? Oh, that's so nice of you, Jane. I mean, I read all of the ones that I get during streams and we're a small channel. So we don't, you know, always get a lot, but it means everything when someone supports the channel because we're just a small channel and without all of you, where are we? And unlike some creators that I know, I'm appreciative of the things that I am given or any opportunity that I'm given to talk to all of you because it's important to me, you know? He has to record everyone because he uses it as blackmail later on. If he wants you to do something that he knows you won't do, he saves that recording for when it's time to get you to do that thing. And he'll say, well, I'm going to release this if you don't do X, Y, and Z. This is something, once again, he's been doing since 2018 or even earlier than that, you know? Ooh, you don't know how much you're liking it? Girl, listen, you just got to get the right temp and the right amount of time. And I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Casey Anthony, not guilty. Imagine if I was like, if you think Casey Anthony was guilty, I'm never talking to you. Like, come on. Same people who say it about Karen Reed are ones who already want Wendy Allison in prison. I agree. If Aiden had legit wanted to purchase a Lexus, he had just met Nathan, so he'd go to that dealership and get a sweet deal, but he didn't. He went to a different dealership because it wasn't legit. I also think maybe Nathan sent him to that other, this is my opinion, sent him to the other dealership to deal with another person so it looked legit, but wasn't. Still gave him a good deal on it, like a sister dealership or a friendly dealership. Even though the prosecutor clearly agrees with me in that there is not enough evidence to even arrest, yet many free hearing readers want her under the jail based on nonsensical conjecture from her ex. I don't think that they had enough to arrest Wendy yet either, not in my opinion, but see, that's sad. That's sad. Bad news to who? Who have I ever hurt? I'm going to tell you right now, no one here on my channel thinks that I'm going to go cuckoo bananas and share all their personal text messages. If you even knew who in the free hear and read movement has apologized to me, you would be shocked. Okay? If you even knew how many that there were, you would be shocked. It drives me nuts, bananas. There's 337 of you currently watching, which is a little late for a Sunday, but I'm also a little late today. 206 of you on X. I'd appreciate if some of you on X come over to YouTube and hit that like button. But that's what he does. That's his whole point, Kathy, is to make people feel that way so that they do not listen to the people that are telling the truth about him, because if they do, then he's in trouble, right? If people start listening, then guess what? They start seeing who he is, and that is not good for him. He's already having a meltdown about it right now, right this very minute, Anybody, you could, and you two are new, but you can ask anyone who's here all the time. Some of these people have reached out to me personally and got to know me personally, right? It's normal for him. Yeah, it is. And they know who I am, right? There's no monster here. I am a very empathetic, sympathetic, not selfish kind of person. I don't have a lot to give, but I don't mind sharing whatever small amount I do have because it's the right thing to do. And it's the way that I was raised by my grandparents, is everyone can do something to help someone. And I wish it didn't take all this time for everyone to listen. I wish it didn't take many more victims. The way he attacked Jen O'Donnell was probably one of the most heinous ones I've seen thus far. And I reached out to Jen because I wanted to make sure she was okay, right? That mattered more to me than what she believed in the Karen Reed case. Most of you know I lost my dad to suicide, and my dad resides inside of this necklace. His ashes are inside of this cross necklace, and I carry him with me everywhere. And for the amount of victims who have come to me and said that they would like to unalive themselves just to make the rumors and lies stop from a mob of unhinged people who are calling them, emailing them, texting them, sending things to their home, death threats. And I've been dealing with this for 2.5 years, all those same things. Like, it's heartbreaking. No one should ever feel like that. And it shouldn't take a tragedy to stop the dangerous cult mindset of cheering on bad behavior, because that's how he wields some sense of power and entitlement, is by using his audience to do his dirty work. And then one of them gets caught and one of them loses their career by doing something for him that they shouldn't have. And he doesn't care. He doesn't even think twice about it. Doesn't care. Does not think a single blink about it again, because it wasn't him. They did it for him, so he doesn't have to worry about it. And you're going to find a lot of people that are super sweet and super kind. They might believe something, different than you, but that doesn't make them awful, and a lot of these people didn't engage in the, harassing of witnesses and all of that. Like, a lot of these people, even people who think Karen's innocent, don't agree with the things that were done in that department. Right. And everyone should agree that that should never be done to anyone, because it's the same things that are happening to all of Aiden's victims and continue to happen to all of Aiden's victims. It should never happen to anyone. That is not normal behavior, Yeah, it exactly, Maestro. Yeah, unfortunately for him, I have a voice that he can't control. You know, a lot of people he gets down to the threats and controlling people. Ask my husband how well that works. And nobody tells me what I can and can't do. That's just not how I operate, you know? And I think Kathy took Meredith because she was with him for so long. She had some receipts that others couldn't provide. Now, I have some of the receipts of things that she's talking about, but I can't provide them because it would out the person who gave the receipt to me, one of the victims, or many of the victims. And these victims are not known to the public and they do not deserve the level of harassment me and other people have gotten. And that's exactly what they'll get if it's figured out who they are. And so I'm glad that Meredith can share some of those things because those things I've been sitting on for 2 years that I cannot share, I will not share without permission from the victim themselves because it's more important to me that those people have safety and peace of mind than the clicks and views and dollars. That would bring in a lot of views and a lot of money, you know, those receipts. But that's someone's safety, their livelihood, their family's safety. Like that's way more important than a couple bucks, a couple dollars, a couple clicks, a couple views, a couple shares. Like there's no question. Lots of people don't realize like I was a volunteer advocate for 15 years before I ever started a YouTube channel. And I continue to do that till this day. So almost 19 years I've been doing volunteer advocacy. And, you know, a lot of people say, at least you're great at what you do. You need to get paid. Well, unfortunately, I give the same answer every time. The people I help can't afford to pay me. They're low income, just like I am. They can't afford to pay someone to help advocate for them just by using their knowledge. I have knowledge. Knowledge is power. And I will help anybody who needs that kind of help, whether they can pay for it or not, because it's the right thing to do, right? Like, yeah, I would love to get paid for my advocacy work. I've done so many hearings with lawmakers, like I've done it all, right? But the people who need my help can't afford to pay me. So I'm going to do it regardless. You know, it's the right thing to do, right? Like it's more important to me those people get the help that they need than I get a couple bucks. I'll figure it out. I always do. You know, like it sucks living paycheck to paycheck. My husband works his ass off and all of it goes to bills and groceries and you're still struggling. Like, okay, and there's nothing left, you know? But I hope one day that my channel is big enough that not only can I, you know, thrive and survive, but I can also use the excess to help other people in a big way. You know, that's the dream. Me and my husband have talked about hitting the lottery and buying all the schoolhouses in Massachusetts that are abandoned and turning them into housing and having people just pay their utilities. So they never have to worry about like condos, turn them into condos. People will never have to worry about having a stable place to live ever again. All they have to do is pay their utilities to keep them on and you know their groceries or whatever. Like they don't have to worry about rent. Like, you know, most rich people want the tax write-off. I don't give a fuck about the tax write-off, dude. I'll pay the taxes on the building per year. Like all that really matters to me is that people have stable places to live where they're not going to be priced out because the landlord wants to increase the rent by $500 a year. Wages are not keeping up with that. They haven't been since the 80s, right? I don't give a shit about the tax write-off. I would rather write a check to a family that lives on my street or an apartment complex full of people than donate to a charity for the tax write-off, because at least I know I'm helping actual real people. If you donate to a charity, there's only a certain subset of people who are going to get that help. And a lot of the time it's about who you know. So if you know somebody who works in that charity, you're going to get the help before someone else. And also you have to fit into this very small subcategory, subset and red tape and all this shit that only a few people fit into. I would rather help people than, you know, some people are working like we are. So you don't get food stamps or you don't get benefit. Like you can't get government help because we work. So, you know, we make too much to get any benefits, but not enough to pay for rent and bills. And so those are the people, you know, that I would love to just hit the lottery and just start knocking on doors and writing checks. Here's $10,000. Here's a home and a car. That's what I would do. It'd be like Oprah, you get a house and you get a house and you get a house and you get a car and you get a car and you get a car. And here's also $10,000 for your bank account, right? So now you have a stable housing situation, a stable vehicle, which is a necessity. Believe me, I know I don't have one. And then money, a pad, right? To be able to like when you're working, now you can pay your bills and at least have that little padding behind you. Like, you know, I believe me, me and my husband have talked about and thought all of this out if one day we hit the lottery. Not that we will, because you have to actually play the lottery to hit it, but it's a dream, you know. I mean, there's definitely some new information that's going to come out. Not new information to me, but definitely some new information to you guys for sure. But it's not going to solve anything for people. Oh, I love you, Donna. And for those of you who don't know who Donna is the victim from New Jersey who, God forbid, she sold 4 t-shirts. He wanted his 10 cents right then and there, you know? he wanted his 10 cents. He didn't get it right away, you know? I don't think you're alone in that, Kathy. I think a lot of people woke up then, but Meredith just happened to have some of the receipts that everyone else couldn't put out, either out of fear, out of blackmail, out of safety, or because they didn't possess the receipts. They knew the truth, but they didn't possess receipts for those certain things. And so she just happens to have some of those things that other people don't, that she can show that we've been saying for a long time. All it does is verify and solidify all of the things that I have been saying going back 2 years, a little more than 2 years even. And so it's like, cool, at least I feel somewhat vindicated on, like, I've been warning all of you. She's showing you the receipts. You know, at least I can say, like, I've already been telling you this for a long time, and I wish people had just listened, you know? Yeah, here and there, you know, unhinged lunatics. It's what they do. It's just not okay, you know? It's gross. It's not okay behavior. Just never will be, never should be, you know? Oh, I remember that one. And it has to be done that way. It has to be done lie by lie and piece by piece. Otherwise, he tries to spin. He loves to do the whataboutism. Well, what about this person? And what about that person? For instance, God forbid I comment on anything from anyone who's free can read. Then it's like, you're talking to the antis. That's his new narrative, is you're cohorting with the antis now. You and the antis are besties. First of all, maybe people woke up and were like, hey, wait a second. Not everybody is so bad. Maybe people aren't as bad as you fucking claimed. Maybe they're not horrible people. Maybe you're the horrible person, Aiden. Maybe, just maybe, it can't be everyone else, because do you know what the odds would be? Astronomical. That it is everyone else, specifically 95% women. It's everyone else but him. Everyone's a scammer. Everyone's a drug addict. Everyone's a criminal. Everyone is crazy. All those same things that he calls everyone, except him. I've never seen somebody project in the way that that man projects. I do think his brain one day in 100 years needs to be studied, you know, literally studied, you know. You just wanted to help him. Help him with what? See, that's what she doesn't seem to understand, is one day she's going to be a victim of his, and then she's going to be asking for my help or someone else's help. Like, this is what these girls don't get. And I don't think Meredith understood it in the beginning either. And to be fair, I called it. This whole thing with breaking up and him going ham on her, like, I called that 2 years ago and onward from there. I said exactly what would happen, and what I predicted exactly would happen is exactly what he did, because he's a creature of habit, you know? Crypto. Yeah, come on. He told her, he gave her the screenshots to put out there. Like, come on now. You know? No. Donna, no. She's the one who sold t-shirts. Oh, no. That sucks. I'm sorry. A foot? We only got like 6 inches, and although we were supposed to just get a dusting, to be clear, you know? Oh, I know. It is a lot to keep up with. I promise I will do my best on clarifying anything I can. If you have questions, I encourage asking them so that we can, like, if you're confused about something or when or why or how, ask. We definitely can, like, clear that up for you so that you're not trying to figure it out and you just don't understand it, you know? It's always nice. Oh, hey, Nina. Oh, thank you so much. I do, actually. Sean is a longtime friend of mine. And funny enough, way back when, me and Sean had been friends since pretty much day one. And, you know, Sean was getting frustrated behind the scenes with Aiden in the way that he was attacking people. Sean was the very first person actually to send me a message when Aiden sort of attacked after I didn't lie for him. And Aiden and Sean was like, what he's doing is disgusting. And I just want you to know I have your back. And I can respect the fuck out of that, because what Sean is risking by having my back is dealing with being attacked on his own. Sean put up with Aiden's shit for a long while without saying anything. He bit his tongue. He, dealt with it. And then one day, Sean had information that I had known already for months about Michael Proctor and him being fired, basically. It wasn't official. It wasn't public, but we knew it had happened already. And so Sean got the information from someone and confirmed it. And it's stuff, again, that I knew for months. And I'm sure plenty of the other people that I know knew for months. And he put it out there, right? And so Aiden got mad that he wasn't the first one to get that information and put it out there. And so immediately he called Sean a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You just say shit. You don't have any evidence of it. You're not telling the truth. If that would happen, I'd be the first person to know about it. The whole, what it was petty jealousy. It's the same as when I broke the story that Natalie had immunity and had taken a deal for immunity. Aiden told his entire audience that there's no reason that Natalie would have immunity. Why would she have immunity? He got so mad personally. Okay. So freaking mad personally that I had that information and story before he did. That people were sending me like screenshots of the personal messages he was sending them about how pissed off he was that I got that information before he did, and he didn't break that story, and why he told his audience it was fake, even though he knew it was probably real, is because he wanted to be the one to talk about it and say it was real. And so it's sort of what's like the same thing with Sean, where he got mad that Sean had the information first. And so he went on a spree of just smearing Sean. And I remember a couple of months after that, Sean's doing his own shows. And he said, I'm getting on my stream today and I'm saying blah, 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 something, 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 and something about me. And I said, Sean, don't tell people we're friends unless you want to be attacked by the sewer turtle crew. I said, I don't want that for you. You don't need that, right? Like, don't do that. And I'll never forget the text message that he gave me back, sent me back. He said, Elise, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, okay, like, that's like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, go for it if you want, go for it if you want, Sean. And so I think that night he got on his stream and talked to people and was like, I'm friends with Elise. Like, you know what I mean? I know Elise. Like, and so people didn't know that we were friends. And so, I didn't want him to be harassed by the sewer crew simply for being friends with me, because that's what Aiden does, is he sends the minions like, oh, your friends are twisted. Yes, he was and always has been. So what? What's your point? Like, is there a point to that? Like, I'm just an average everyday person. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a friend. Like, I'm just an average person, very boring life I live, But I mean, this is just when we get to the point of him just, smearing people simply because he has some petty jealousy issue. Like, that's what he did with Sean, is he was jealous and upset he didn't get that information first. And so he decided to go on a smear campaign of Sean and to bring his minion mob with him to do it. Same song and dance he does to pretty much everyone, Someone asked him on X if he had apologized for his comments about James, and he just replied, no, of course not. Of course he's not going to fucking he doesn't know how to apologize or say he was wrong or retract. I don't think he's ever retracted anything ever, Oh, yeah, he will admit to doing it and then the next day say someone else did it, and then the next day blame someone else, and then, and then that, like idiots. It's like, dude, you guys just heard him admit it, and then the next day he changes his story and you guys change with him. It's like, where are the brain cells in your brain? Clear. Like, what is happening, dude? What is happening? Well, that's what it was, right? Content. That's what he used Donna for. Content. Rage bait. Like, dude, she made like 3 or 4 t-shirts with a turtle on it, and she offered him like $24, which is more than what she would have got what she would have made on the 4 shirts after taking out costs, you know? Like, he wanted his 10 cents. He wanted his 10 cents. Then he lied and said she never donated to Karen Reed. There's a receipt. She donated over $300 to Karen Reed. So it's just insane. Like, it's just content. It's a way to make content and sort of smear people and lie. That's all he knows how to do, you know? His location is being tracked. Okay, do you know how many times he's actually claimed there's a tracker on his car? Do you know how many times? So I love that he's saying, I love that for him. I love that he is saying that right now. Because over the past 6 or 7 years, do you know how many times he's claimed there must be a tracker on his car? At least 15. At least 15 times, you know? Yep. He went nuts when Sean put that information out, you know? I mean, this is, karma is a bitch. It is. It comes back. The universe knows. The universe fucking knows. If you put bad karma in this world, it will come back to you. Don't do it, dude. Put good karma in the world. Put good karma in the world. I try to put some good karma in my karma bank as much as I can, right? You don't want to put shitty karma in the world, dude. It will come back to you. Fucking go Pats. And we're down a person. So fucking go Pats. Sorry. Oh yeah, God forbid anybody get information before he does, or people. He hates when people give compliments to people he doesn't like. Oh my God, that one makes him go berserk. So I can definitely see where he'd get all pissed off with JFK if people are giving compliments like, "Glad you put this out there. Glad you're smart. Glad I'm figured this out." Blah blah blah. Like, he will lose his ever loving fucking mind. Ever loving mind. A lot of people like Sean. He's got a good heart if you just get to know him. Like, I think he might have been misled in some things, but a lot of people were. I don't even know why anyone would need to do that. Paul is the brother of the deceased. Why go after the brother of the deceased, the mother of the deceased? You call the mother of the deceased the C word. Who does that? That's not fucking normal behavior. He wasn't there. That's his brother. Aiden made him and the entire O'Keefe family an enemy, and people fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Like, come the fuck on. That's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Thank you, YBE. That would have been actual journalism, something that Aiden knows nothing about. Girl, I tell you, don't defend me. I don't want that for any of you. Oh yeah, you'll never get proof of any of that because it just doesn't exist. They accuse me of all sorts of random shit. They accused me for 6 months of pictures that I didn't take, that Deanna took of Lindsay, and she sent them to Lauren. And then to Aiden, she blamed me because her and Lauren were too afraid of what Aiden would do to them too. So instead, they blamed me for months and months and months. It's like, the shit that they come up with is so absurd. I saw there's one like crazy stalker I have recently that said something about like my husband being like a degenerate. I'm like, dude, the guy's never been arrested a day in his life. I don't even think he's gotten a speeding ticket. I remember one ticket one time for a sticker on his truck way long ago that was like 4 days too old or something like that. And that's because he had been working 6 days a week. Like, my husband's never been, maybe my ex-husband. Cool, sure. But I've been with my husband over a decade. The man's never been in trouble a day in his life. The man is a literal workhorse. Okay. That's all he does. Work and home with his family. So I love when they say shit that just not only is nonsensical and makes no sense, but has zero truth to it whatsoever. There's one person that claims that they know me. No, you don't. I keep my circle very small. Most of my family is dead and gone. I have made 3 friends that I see 2 regularly, one being Ashley, who is laid up right now from the hospital, one being my neighbor, who is my friend, and one that I video chat with. And so this person claims that they know me. And then it changed from, oh, they know me, to they know people who know me and my family. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they certainly do not. They certainly do not. They have to keep moving the goalpost when you debunk it, right? Like, because they try to give themselves like, well, you have to listen to me because I know them. Or actually, I know someone who knows the family. Like, no, my family's dead. So exactly who would you know in my family? It doesn't even make any sense. The shit that they have to come up with to make themselves right is fucking bonkers. Yeah, that was a very weak apology. And to be clear, the only reason he kind of apologized to Nurse Kim is because he was getting some pushback from some of Nurse Kim's watchers. And so of course, he didn't give a shit. He actively did not care if she got torn apart and thrown under the bus, and he would have left it that way in the same way that he did to Mike if she never said anything. He doesn't feel bad. He's not sorry. He's sorry that people are turning on him. I love when he tries to claim he doesn't care what the trolls say. Do you guys know that he spends most of his nighttime and daytime reading X comments and reading every comment someone writes, going to accounts he's blocked to read all of our comments and all of our tweets? Like, that's literally what he does. So I find it funny he says he doesn't care, because he really cares. He really, really does care. Yeah, right? He wishes he was being tracked. Who the fuck would like to track him? Besides the cops, no one cares where you are. As a matter of fact, we don't want you here. Like, go out, bye, go for Massachusetts. We don't claim you anymore, all right? Go away. Yeah, exactly my point, Heisenberg. Yeah, of course, because that means they cross over, the money crosses over. So some of those subs donate to him, and so that money crosses over. And so when he realized that doing shitty things to people who cross over and watch these other people were going to lose him money in dollars, oh, well, he can't have that. He's got to do the fake apology. I promise you, not only does he not mean it, but he'll do it again and again and again, and he'll keep throwing these people under the bus until they get so sick of it that they finally snap. And then when they do, he'll call them crazy. Thank you, Space Coast. I mean, what people don't seem to realize, and actually Meredith said this not that long ago, is Aiden didn't investigate the Karen Reed case. He was given and fed all of the information from the defendant herself. He did not investigate claims. He did not go out and do good old boots on the ground investigative journalism to find things out and get documents. He simply was handed everything from Karen to him. That's not investigative journalism. All right. Also, the news had already talked about this case already. That is how I found out about it, was the news. I found out about it from our local news stations. They had already picked this case up. They didn't blow it up into a They didn't blow it up, like I said, into oblivion, but they talked about it. That's how I found out about it, was my local news, at the time. So it's like, I mean, cool. I don't mind giving credit where it's due, but in this case, it's not. He literally was given. Oh my God, the buffering for no reason, out of nowhere. As she has, that all of the information was given to him, spoon fed to him like a baby with a bottle. That's not journalism. Also, taking a biased one-side approach and then disparaging the family of a person who passed away for clicks and views and money is not journalism. Far from it, as a matter of fact. Hi, Space Ghost. Hello. They don't. And that's the kicker, is none of them know an actual real thing about me. What I like to do, what I do in my spare time, nothing. They literally know not a single thing that I didn't share here with all of you. Not one. And that's sad. But this is exactly why you shouldn't just buy what someone says, hook, line, and sinker. I even tell you guys to go check the information I give you. You should always check. Always effing check. Do not just take someone's word for it. Go out and do your own research and check. It's important to me that the information is correct. I will always tell you when it's my opinion versus when it's a fact. I will always say, well, that's my opinion, and my opinion is, right? Because it's important to say when something's an opinion versus what's a fact. And he doesn't do that. He just spews everything like it's a fact. He also runs on rumor mills and was paid for many years to just do hit pieces on people that other people didn't like, or that someone, like an unhinged neighbor, you didn't give them a ride to the store once, and so they found him and they were like, I'll give you $50 to write this story about this person and say this, and this. He would never investigate any of the claims. And then when the other person would provide proof that he was lying about them, he wouldn't retract anything, he didn't take anything down, he didn't apologize. It's not real journalism. It's completely fake. You have enough shenanigans there? Yeah, over here, since you're new to the channel, I'll let you in on our lingo. Over here, we don't call them shenanigans anymore. They're called shenanies. Yep, they're shenanies. And, I'll let you in on another secret. A lot of Aiden's cult, they subscribe to his felon flicks. Yeah. because he has them subscribe to a lot of his bullshit. And most of us have things like Netflix and Disney Plus, Hulu, things like that. Where we enjoy watching shit. He, on the other hand, he subscribes himself to Felon Flicks because he likes to commit more felonies than there are Pokemon, and so he's still looking for that elusive Snorlax. Yeah, he's still looking to pick up that elusive Snorlax. That big felony, maybe a RICO charge, maybe, but that elusive Snorlax, keeps getting away from him. He's just racking up those felonies like they're Pokemon. He's got to catch them all. Gotta catch them all, Pokemon. Ooh, when? That's a good one. 35 to 3 pets. Let's go. Let's fucking go. He just used a bullhorn and camera and pulled antics even after he knew they would arrest him for it. Yeah, he didn't actually think they would because he thought the fear was so much from him that they wouldn't. Yeah, I heard from the news too. Same. All right, let's get into some of this. When? That's such a good question. I do not have a timeline on when. I just know that there's some stuff that's coming. Like I told you guys, there is a freight train of accountability sort of pummeling towards him. And unfortunately for him, he just keeps tying himself to the tracks, double, triple knots and all. Boop, doesn't seem to want to get himself off the tracks. But hey, that's his problem, Let me see. One second, guys. All right, let's see here. Let me just refresh real quick on this. All right. It's not the new one, right, MBM? The new one, this is one, but if embarrassment were like billable hours for these attorneys, man, these attorneys would have retired already. If currency was embarrassment, I'm telling you, they'd have been all set for life if it was billable hours for Aiden. Oh, he's had me. I've had him blocked. I don't even actually know if he has me blocked. He likes to unblock people to look at their stuff, but I've had him blocked for a while, and now that you can do that on X anyway, Hold on. That's why he can't stop his entire business is making up half fake or totally fake, degrading, embarrassing stories about people, posting on a blog and then going on a show and trying to bait them into calling, yep, bingo, or bait them into asking him to take it down, which is just pointless, His entire business is why he is scared to cover new stories while on bail. He's not scared. He just doesn't have any. His entire business is doing things, that could get him arrested, but also just making shit up about people. He doesn't want any more orders against him. Dude, before Karen read it, under 10K subs, so no one was paying attention. Now everyone's watching. Well, there's a lot of people that need to wake the fuck up. But so here's one of the texts between him and Bradle and Betterow. And I'm guessing also Meredith. Okay. So this one, the top one here is Betterow, and it says, she sued Cosgrove and Tully, never mind improperly. Then Tim Bradle says, is it? Holy shit. Betterow says, yeah. Tim Bradle says, I'm dying. Betterow says, Cosgrove and Tully are going to have to get booted. and they're all getting nuked by us in a week or so. Now, if he actually refers to what I call his hilarious Harold in the Purple Crayon quote mega motion, where he repeats himself like 72 times and actually puts a fake medical condition in his mega motion called turtle derangement syndrome, that motion could have been half as large as it was if he didn't just repeat nonsense, narratives, and speculation throughout the entire thing. Never mind the wild false claims that these attorneys put in there. But the fact that he put turtle derangement syndrome in an actual legal motion to a judge shows you how unfucking serious these attorneys are. The fact that he actually thought anything would nuke anything is highly hilarious to me. They are less self-aware than him at this point. Okay. Just when I thought we've seen everything, Bradle said, oh my God. Mark Betterow said, the plan to get rid of Cosgrove is going to work after all. I just never thought it would be LG going scorched earth. The fact that he actually thought that that would get rid of Cosgrove is also fucking hilarious in my eyes, because no, prosecutorial immunity. No. That's also the remaining charges have to do with the other witnesses, in which she wasn't even in a relationship with him when all that happened. So I don't know how they thought they would get him tossed on some sort of like, there's no issue there. Like they might want there to be, but there isn't. Okay. Then there are these guys here, these ones, right? So the top here is Aiden. He's complaining that they changed all the names, the titles of his things to different titles and not the actual titles. And Aiden's like, we have to bring this up. He thinks this is a big deal. Now, they're allowed to name it whatever they want, specifically if they're naming it for a file and it says like Aiden disparages O'Keefe family, right? And the title of his was Paul O'Keefe is the worst human on earth and a POS, right? But says the whole thing. And Tully writes, Aiden disparaging O'Keefe family. That means Tully's title was a little less crazy and insane and inflammatory than Aiden's own title, which has happened a lot in this course. But the fact that he thought this was some large, huge deal that was gonna, help him in some way is effing hilarious to me. No one cares if the titles, the files were changed. The content is the same. It's all of your own words, sir, set on camera. No one gives a shit what the title is. They're allowed to call their files whatever they want to call their files, even if they bring it to the grand jury that way. Doesn't matter. That's what they called their files. But like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, yeah. You like that one? That one's in my merch store. There's a sweatshirt or a shirt we have that says Better Roll Letters now available in the fiction section. I haven't made the Harold and the Purple Crayon one yet. I'm working on it. All right. I'm working on it. Oh, thanks, Mark. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. So then we have Mark Betterow, who says, wait, hold on. They renamed your videos to make them sound worse. Now, what Aiden failed to tell his attorneys were his titles on almost all of them were way worse than what the Commonwealth actually named them. Then Aiden lies, of course, and says, yes, all of them. They just named the videos whatever they felt like calling them. Yeah, they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to file them with whatever title they want, sir. The content of them is the same. Oh, Mark, they think you should host a space. Then Betterow says, we need a chart of real names versus titles they made up. Are they much worse? The fact that he's questioning Aiden again tells me that he doesn't always believe him, even though he seems to be believing him most of the time there. Then he said, Cosgrove read those out loud in court yesterday. Look at 595. Again, the fact that any serious attorney by any stretch of the imagination thought this was some banger, some serious issue that was gonna get them like dropped or something is actually insane to me. And maybe these attorneys need to go back to law school, because like this is a big fat nothing burger. They can name their files whatever the fuck they want. Literally whatever the fuck they want. It isn't TBS. It is. Some folks are just not into him. LOL. Just not that into you, bro. His longtime fans know what's up. The ones are the most vicious because they stay with TB when he spent years harassing Black people for having legal protests downtown saying they shouldn't be allowed. There's a lot of things he said that are highly questionable, woman hating, misogynistic. Ever notice he always has to talk about how he's not a quote massage therapist, how he's not misogynistic, and how he has to talk about how he's not a narcissist? In one stream recently, he literally, somebody sent me this clip, said he's not a narcissist because narcissists are not I loved this. Was so ass backwards and just shows like how he's trying to not only convince himself but other people, because he's been called a narcissist by his own mother and his own family members and his own, girlfriends, ex-wife, like everyone. So he has to convince himself and then outwardly try to convince others that he's not, by saying that narcissists are not insecure and he's insecure. Newsflash, sir. Don't steal my glasses. But narcissists are very insecure. Very, very insecure. It's like the top reason why they're really narcissistic is part of being insecure. So we got the Diary of a Wimpy Sewer Turtle. Dear Diary. Dear Diary, it's me, Aiden. It's me, Aiden. Please, please tell the world how awesome I am. Bettero's going to write another Bettero letter in his purple crayon. And I'm going to wiretap my attorneys for the world to see because, it's so smart. It's so smart. It's amazingly smart. And I'm such a smart guy. I'm so smart. It's insane. Love the sewer turtle. Aiden Kearney. Diary of a Wimpy Sewer Turtle. Volume 3. Page 3. Number 1. Fan of myself. I'm super fan of myself. Super fan of myself and my tiny arms. Don't talk about my tiny arms. It's not nice. It's not nice at all. I don't like it. It's not nice. Leave my tiny arms alone. I have to make sure it's, let's say, the Diary of a Wimpy Sewer Turtle. I literally have to. Oh God, that loop is big. Okay, yeah, I have a merch store. There's quite a few things in there. But we have T-shirts, cups. We have the Sipping on Turtle Tears cup. Where's my Sipping on Turtle Tears cup? I have it somewhere, or maybe it's in the kitchen. I think I brought it in the kitchen because I used it. But it is a white cup and it's green. And it says Sipping on Turtle Tears in green. It's got a little turtle in the front. I sip on those turtle tears often. It's a good cup, okay? It's a very good cup. I love that cup. It's an amazing cup. I'm not muted. A broken clock is right twice a day. You are right. All right, so this one says Tim Bradle at the top, okay? It says, we can call them out for the pretext. Make them say why you would testify. We have to talk to the Karen Reed team about making sure they're attacking this line of questioning so you won't be a witness. Now, don't I remember Tim Bradle telling the court that he did not talk to the Karen Reed team? They did not talk to each other, right? They weren't working together, which was false, of course, right? Hey, Deidre. That was completely false, of course, right? Duh. A little bit, but we haven't gotten into all that yet. We talked about it a little bit, but not like all the way. And so then he says, Bradle says, with all the integrity that this guy has, yes, we have to move to vacate the protective orders and file the journalistic exemption stuff for the taint team. Hold on, time out. Whoop. There is no journalistic privilege in the state of Massachusetts. What the fuck is Tim Bradle talking about? That does not exist here in Massachusetts. There is no journalistic privilege. So the fact alone that he even wrote the words, we have to file for journalistic privilege when that does not exist in the state of Massachusetts is fucking wild to me. That an active practicing attorney in the state of Massachusetts actually wrote that down is embarrassing AF. I would be highly embarrassed if I was Mr. Bradel. Not just for lying to the court and being caught doing that and being caught being an unethical piece of shit, but also actually writing the words, we have to file for journalistic exemption stuff for the taint team. There is no journalistic exemption in the state of Massachusetts. It does not exist. There is no such thing. They do not have those protections here in Massachusetts. And Tim Bradel most certainly knows that. So the fact that he keeps arguing that to the court, knowing no such thing exists, he's great at arguing narrative, things that are not true and speculating. But when the judge says, Mr. Bradel, that's narrative, that's speculative, what is your argument for your legal argument for this? He starts stuttering. He has no idea what to say, no idea what to do. And you can go back and watch all the hearings that include him. And when the judge sort of stops him and tells him hey, I want your legal argument, not your, thoughts, not your pointing the finger at everyone else. At one point, he turns around to look at the audience in this performative stance. And the judge has to say sir, I'm over here. As in hey, the audience isn't who you fucking need to convince, you idiot. It's me. Right. And I found that to be hilarious, of course, because no other attorney would actually turn around to the audience in this performative stance of going on and on about things that are just simply not true. They would be trying to argue their legal argument to the actual judge. All right. Okay. Literally. Not Bradel. Not Bradel. And I will point out that he absolutely screwed over Kelsey. Absolutely. Because to him, the cameras mattered more than getting just basic documentation for his client. He wanted to point fingers at the court and claim cruel and unusual punishment, which is just absurd. Okay. So absurd that you offended the judge, as the judge should be offended. And you screwed your own client so that you could perform in front of cameras. I would have fired him immediately. The fact that she didn't is sad. Really, he doesn't, she could get a better attorney. Just saying. But anyway, then he says, and throw the motion to quash on the pile. Then he says, and to get your case continued off the 18th. So that was him trying to judge shop, which they've done numerous times by claiming he's on vacation or he can't do that day, when in reality, he can do it just fine. He just doesn't want to have that specific judge. That's actually not only improper, unethical, but not legal to judge shop in the state of Massachusetts. Then Betterow says Aiden on their list is a joke and a clear attempt at keeping him out. Brennan is a sleazeball. So what they're talking about is when the Commonwealth said that they would call Aiden in Karen's case as a witness. And Mr. Betterow thought it was him trying to keep Aiden out of the courtroom, but actually Mr. Brennan said the opposite. So then Betterow says we need to issue a statement about this. First of all, no, you don't. You don't need to issue a statement about it. Nobody gives a shit about your shitty client. Then of course, Aiden has to talk about himself and how awesome he is because, duh. He says, I had record viewership and business was very good because of the last trial. This is going to prevent me from making a living and they have no intention of calling me. What would prevent him from streaming from home and making a living like he does multiple times a week already and covering the trial in the same way that me or Mike or anyone else covered it from either end of the spectrum from home? It wouldn't have. He simply wanted to be in the courtroom and be seen on cameras. You're not making any money by being in the courtroom when you could be making money doing a stream. You're not making any money. You're not filming yourself while you're there. So what the fuck are you talking about? How is that making a living? Exactly by being in the courtroom simply for the court case. It's not. He can report on it just like any of us could right here from home. It was a stupid argument, the fact that he even made it. And then he said, and they have no intention of calling me. And then, of course, when Betterow said we need to issue a statement for this, Aiden's response was, yes, I think we do. Then Betterow said, this is a fucking joke. Let's discuss tomorrow. And we should tell shithead you'll take the 5th. So he means we're going to tell Brennan that you're going to take the 5th. And then Aiden said, whatever you think is best. He'd never call me because he can't control what I'd say. Well, that's exactly why he would call you. That's exactly the point, Aiden, is that he can't control what you say. And you always bury yourself because you tell so many lies that you can't keep up with them. That is exactly a reason to call you, you fucking idiot. Exactly why. The fact that you don't seem to grasp that concept just goes to show why you can't cover court cases, because you have no actual idea what the fuck you're doing or talking about. So, of course, now Bradel, because he's got no integrity and no actual legal concept, clearly says, I know you're kidding about the fifth. That's what they want from him, to go and do. What he means is, and to taint the jury pool against him, and admitting that a truthful answer would incriminate him. But he did plead the fifth. So you're saying kidding, but what else would he have done? His only other option is you either plead the fifth or you get on the stand. Those are your options. That's it. You don't have another option. So Bettero said, of course, this is all a fucking joke. We should dare them to call him. How'd that work out for you? How'd that work out for you guys, huh? Oh, it didn't. He had to plead the fifth. That's right. Bradel said, Karen Reed, people need to file a motion to exclude. We need to file a motion to quash. We need to force an offer of proof. Also, how'd that work out for you? Oh, he had to plead the fifth again. Oh, silly me. Silly me. What do I know? I'm not an actual attorney, but even I predicted all that was going to happen ahead of time. Oh, I mean, what do I know? I'm not an attorney, right? That's what they always claim, Bradel and Bettero, like, oh, well, we're the attorneys. How could anybody who's not an attorney know better than us? Well, you're disingenuous pieces of shit. So, yeah, anybody who really knows the legal system could pretty much guess what would or wouldn't happen. I did predict that Kelsey Fitzsimmons, even though Bradel made those appeals, that they would be denied. Why? Well, because they were on solid legal footing. The judge did what she was within her legal right to do, and no other judge is going to step on another judge's toes if they didn't do something that was improper or illegal. And so even Tim Bradel would have known that it would have been denied. It was performative at best. Come on. There's no such thing as drama-free. Don't you love Couchetta? I have to show you guys Couchetta. Deidre did an amazing job making Couchetta. Just saying. Oh my God, he should work for the National Enquirer because it's like what he does, right? This is a tweet that Chris shared that Meredith wrote, and it said, Aiden recorded Brian without his consent and distributed it to Jess, Machado, and others. I can't wait for them to spend the next week lying about it before I drop the receipts, which is what they usually do, is lie about it. So there's a clip. You're gaslighting me, says the master gaslighter. Such a whiny bitch. So this is a 7-second clip.
You're lying. You're gaslighting me. I know what you told me.
I'll let it play 2 or 3 times so you guys can hear it. But this is a clip of Aiden, who released these texts. Well, he did. He shared them, as he shares everything with other people. That's why he took screenshots. He screenshots everything. He records everything, phone calls, text conversations, screen records, voice notes, and he shares them with people. And then he gets mad when they get leaked because he shared them with so many people he doesn't even remember how many or who. And then those people share it with other people who get appalled at the things that he does and says, especially when they have that evidence in their hands. So when he goes and lies about something and they have the evidence, they feel uncomfortable about it. And they're like, I have to show this to someone. So they send it to someone, and that someone sends it to someone. And eventually it gets leaked. And then he blames everybody else except the person who took the screenshots to begin with and shared them to begin with, himself, right? Oh, 420. There's 420 people watching. Happy 420. I just had to say that. There's 281 of you on X, 141 of you on on YouTube. Also, before I play this, just know there's many ways to support the channel, and we could always use your help. We're a small channel. We run basically on donations only. We don't have any corporate sponsors. There's no other content creators that are telling us what we can or can't say or do. It's not how we operate. We strictly rely on the kindness of all of you to do this. And so any and all donations are welcomed and appreciated more than you know. We have tons of options: Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Revolut, Chime. Chime's the same as Cash App. We have a link in the chat over here. It's also in the description of the video here on YouTube, and in the chat pinned to the top. You can click on it. You can use any credit or debit card. You can put any little comment in there. You can remain anonymous on any of these, of course, because we want to keep everyone safe. Couchetta is hilarious. I'm going to have to show people in a minute what Couchetta looks like because, well, Deidre did a great job with Couchetta. Okay. So what is this about, you ask? Oh, this is a wiretap conversation between Aiden and Brian from LTL. And it's a very small clip. So I'm going to let it play a couple times so you guys can hear it all. But Aiden, without Brian's knowledge, wiretapped him and was trying to get him to say something that wasn't true. Because that's what Aiden does.
Okay, you're lying. You're gaslighting me. I know what you told me. It's just me and you here, man. Come on, don't do this. Okay, you're lying. You're gaslighting me. I know what you told me. It's just me and you here, man. Come on, don't do this. Okay, you're lying. You're gaslighting me. I know what you told me. It's just me and you here, man. Come on. Don't.
From the master gaslighter himself, he accuses someone else of gaslighting him while telling him the truth. Because Brian didn't say what he wanted him to say, especially since he was recording. He wanted Brian to say a certain thing so that he could use it later on. The persistence, well, that's the thing. He'll keep going back to the police stations and filing false reports until the cops do what he wants. This is something he's done for many years. So he'll keep going back and back and back. And what he'll do is, if the cops say, well, we don't have enough evidence to do anything, he goes back, he manufactures evidence, sends emails to himself, has someone else send an email to himself in the name of that person to make it look like it's that person, or makes up text messages and make it look like that person. Then he goes back to the police station and says, see, now we have more evidence. Now you can do something. And this is something he has done numerous times to get innocent people charged with crimes as a petty revenge plot for people telling the truth about him. Just saying. This is something he has done many times, over and over and over. He has no idea what drama-free is. That's just something he said to make it sound good because people are sick of his shit. You know, everything is damage control with him. And make no mistake, when he publicly says, I don't want anybody to call anyone's job and blah, 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 or do this or do that, just know that behind closed doors, what he's doing is he's calling specific people and telling them to ramp it up. Ramp it up, ramp it up, ramp it up. I have to publicly say I want nothing to do with this because people are getting, tired, but I need you to ramp it up. I need you to keep going and keep doing it. Same pattern every time. Same things he does every time. So that later on he can feign ignorance. I said I didn't want that to happen. I said not to go after this person. Really, Aiden? Then why do we have all the private messages of you saying the complete opposite right after you said that publicly? Jeez, I don't know. Same pattern, same behavior, over and over and over. Okay? Same shit. They had to get that order to get TB allowed into court and also fit the other journalists that didn't have journalistic rights as well. Yeah. It was, oh my God, what is her name? Fuck. What is her name? Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? Gretchen. Sorry, Gretchen. There is no journalistic privilege in Massachusetts. It does not fucking exist, Oh yeah, now he's going to be sued into oblivion. Well, as he should be. I mean, he should have been sued, oh my bear, a million times by now. But the problem is suing someone costs a lot of money. So a lot of us don't have 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 grand to sue him, right? Like we just don't. It's not an option. So what we can do though is fight back. I freaking love Couchetta. I love it. It's hilarious. I'm going to show it to you guys in a minute. Let's see what else we got. There is another, hold on. Come on. Oh boy. Oh, if you guys didn't see this one's pretty, where is it? Not that one specifically, because that's just weird, but there is one that I think Bonnie might have had up. Let me see. Oh, I know where it is. I think it was AJ that had it up, as a matter of fact. Crap, actually, I think I can find it through MLF Pink Lady. Her name is also Meredith. Just me and you here. He definitely did. I can beat both Mark and Tim at chess and like less. I'm sure you can. Most people are smarter than him at this point. Coachetta is hilarious. And it is disturbing, you know? Yeah, he's been doing this since before 2018, but you know, we have receipts that go back to 2018, you know? It's just crazy. Yeah, it's just me and you here, bud. Yeah, until he's recording you, right? And I'm sure Bettero did tell him to cool it or else. But his 100% his no drama is absolute crap. Bullshit. Voss, Gretchen Voss. But that's the class actions are usually used against like corporations. They're not usually used against a person, you know? Well, part of that was because people didn't have the money to keep going. But the other part of it, YBE, some of those were dismissed because he claimed in court that he's an opinionist, right? It's his opinion. And so you can't sue someone for their opinions. His problem now is he's been screaming he's a journalist from the rooftops for the last 2.5, 3 years. And so now he can't go into court and say he's an opinionist and it's all an opinion, you know? I can't. No one cares about this clown. Also, part of the sewer crew, the baker, you know, goes after anyone Aiden wants him to, anyone. So it goes down the line. Aiden does it, then Will does it, then Baker does it. It's, you know, and then it goes round and round and round we go. It's like, bro, wake the fuck up. Oh, we're so afraid. Jess said she would take legal action if somebody repeated something she claims is a lie. Oh, sorry, Jess, that's not the way it works. If someone thinks it's true, that's their opinion, right? That's what your buddy says. It's First Amendment, right? You don't mean things on the internet. Don't. Aiden says it. Mean things on the internet. It's First Amendment, right? Sorry, not sorry. She said X isn't real life too, right? Remember? That was a thing. Just log off, Jess. Oh, and she wants to argue with an actual attorney. What a dumbass. Oh, God. Michael Collins is an actual attorney that knows what the fuck he's actually talking about, just to throw that out there. I'm just saying. Let's see. Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I saw it this morning and I was like, I have to show you guys because I think you'll get a good kick out of it. It might be in the replies. Baby seems comfortable until it becomes uncomfortable. Yeah, it is. Until it becomes uncomfortable. He's definitely uncomfortable. He loves to, you know, pretend that nothing bothers him and everything's all gravy. He doesn't care what anyone says. He does. He spends a ton of time on sock accounts, talking about himself, talking to himself, you know, calling us names, using his sock accounts, talking to his own sock accounts, like crazy shit, like bananas shit, like not normal behavior. Ooh, good question. Well, I do know that the New Jersey ones were, I mean, close to their limit at this point. They only have a certain amount of time in New Jersey. So I know that one is probably the fastest coming one. Is this the one?
Morning. Hi, Mary. This is from my daughter, Julie.
What is, I'm confused. What's funny here? Official, oh God, somebody didn't call her official influencer. That's just weird. What is funny? I'm confused. What's so funny?
Be on the screen. I want to be on the screen.
Oh
How
God,
did you know I was
not
here?
showing my
When you
kids.
watched your live, we did comments for like 30 minutes. What?
Why? No, absolutely not. Not want my kids watching my lives. I certainly wouldn't have to want to explain to, especially my minor children, not an option. Sorry. I say things that are not children appropriate on this, and I do not want my children watching it. I have a 21-year-old, and, you know, once in a while she'll pop into the chat, but even then I know that when she's there, she lets me know, and so I tone that down until that point. Oh, where is it? God damn it. Let me look at my phone because I know, like, I literally had it up on my phone to so that I knew where it was, but I might have accidentally closed it out when I wasn't paying attention. Well, that's the thing, right? There's tons of witness intimidation going on in that. What he doesn't seem to realize either is Meredith is technically a witness because she witnessed things that he did that are illegal. So by having people go after her, it's fucking dumb. It's stupid. It's literally asking to be charged at that point. I don't know why anyone on planet Earth would want to do that, but he's not also a very smart person. So, you know. I'm a super spy. Super spy? Dun 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 dun. Dun. Oh, Chris is a super spy? All right. Now my phone should tell me. Well, that's the thing. Cosgrove doesn't want to deal with a bunch of Aiden's bullshit, right? And it's like, I understand why he wouldn't want to, but at the same time, like, here's the thing, Cosgrove. By allowing him to just keep doing this shit is exactly why he does it, right? Because he just seems to think that he can get bolder and bolder and that, like, nothing will ever happen. And that's part of the problem. You cannot just keep allowing someone to keep breaking the law over and over and over again and harming people and then just not holding them accountable. Because if it was anyone else on planet Earth, we would be sitting in a jail cell, right? For committing those crimes. So, I mean, come on now. Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. God, motherfucking damn it. Why can't I find it today? Wait, you know what? I have an idea. I know how to find it. I commented on it, so I could just go to my own replies. Haha. Oh, his prior bad acts are gonna... Oof. Too many shenanigans. Way too many shenanigans for him to get out of, you know? Did you guys see the thumbnail? You didn't see the thumbnail of the turtle throwing a tantrum in the jail cell with me standing outside as the CO? Fitting, I'll tell you that much. See, that sort of self-importance actually, like, aggravates me, right? Jess's sort of self-importance there, where she thinks she's like Oprah important. And it's like, bro, you have a lot to learn. Like, a lot to learn. I'm the most smartest, prettiest person on planet Earth. And it's like, no, honey, you're not. You're not. Crying on every stream does not scream confident. You know, it doesn't. It really does not scream confident. Not by a goddamn long shot. It actually, as a matter of fact, does the complete opposite of that. It says, I am not confident in who I am. I am not confident in what I do. And I don't feel good about it. When you have to cry on every stream. Listen, I've cried probably a total of maybe 3, maybe 5 times total in a number of years. Mostly when talking about really heavy subjects like suicide, because that's how I lost my dad. Usually it's something like that is where I break down. Oh, I found it. Okay. Here we go. I just found this one to be quite hilarious because the pure lack of self-awareness, the lack of understanding of being aware of yourself is fucking amazing. And the fact that someone else had to point out that she has that lack of self-awareness is hilarious to me because this was her response to that. Someone lied to her. Her parents must have lied to her a lot.
Yeah. You. Okay, Jenny, listen, I criticized you because it's the week of Christmas, leading up into Christmas, and it's weird to do a show specifically about Jess Machado. I do a show every morning to talk to the besties when we drive Georgia home.
Wait a second. Doesn't she constantly do shows about other people specifically? Yeah, I mean, she might do multiple people in one show, but how is that weird exactly when you have been, and let's be fair here, you don't have to like Jen Altman. I know anybody has lots of issues with Jen Altman, and that's cool. I respect that. in your opinion. But here's the thing. Why the fuck throw Jen Altman's name into pretty much everything you talk about for a month and a half and then get mad when she does a show to talk about what she needs to get out about the things that you said about her or what she feels? You're mad. She doesn't have a platform. You have a platform. She doesn't have a platform. So she gets on someone else's show and says her piece. And now you're mad. It's so funny to me that every time someone says their piece about her, she gets all mad and pissed off. But it's like, that's all you do is spread lies about other people because, and I quote, this is Aiden said so. Aiden said so is not fucking proof. From the King Ratchet himself of the entire dumpster fire, Aiden said so should be the opposite of anything true. Dear diary, my parents lied to me, and this is what they said.
And you apparently listened to all of them, but and a political show, because I used to do that before. This is what I do for a job. This is how.
Hold on. I have to run that back because we were buffering, but hold on. So she talks about how this is her job, right? It's my job too, right? Cool. Your job is YouTube. I don't knock it, right? It's my job. It works for my family. It works for my disabilities medically. It works for my daughter's disabilities medically. It works for me being able to get my kids on and off the bus. I have a kid with mobility issues. I have mobility issues, chronic pain. Like, it works for me in the way that it needs to, so I can make an income, right? Do some honest work, make a paycheck, and also deal with the disabilities that I have and work my schedule around it, where I'm not going to have that flexibility in another place. There's no other place where I'm going to be able to shut my camera off, lay down, shut my camera off, get up, change the time that I'm going to work for whatever reason I need to. Like, I would never be afforded that anywhere else. And I also get to help people, which I love doing. So that's awesome, right? So she talks about how this is her work and this is her job and this is her career. Well, hold on. I thought her career was journalism, not YouTube, number one. Number two, I specifically remember her knocking everyone else who does this as a job like me, except Aiden, of course, because he's exempt, right? So if Aiden does it as a job, it's totally okay and fine. But if I do it as a job because I have a small channel, it's not totally okay and fine, because I would be a grifter. She's not a grifter. I'm a grifter. Aiden's not a grifter. I'm a grifter. Make it make sense. We all work for YouTube. No matter what content you do, you're working, okay? And it's not just pressing the button. Maybe she just presses the button and goes, but a lot of research, time, energy, money, like all that goes into all of this, right? I spend hours on this fucking computer before and after streams. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. But when you criticize other people for doing the exact thing that you do yourself, people start to tell you that you're not fucking self-aware at that point, right? Come on, man.
Morning to talk to the besties when we drive Georgia home, and you apparently listen to all of them, but and a political show, because I used to do that before. This is what I do for a job. This is how I earn a living. This is what I do for my career. Why are you upset and angry that I do a show in the morning? Why are you listening to it? I'm not
Maybe
self-aware. What are you talking about? I'm very, very self-aware. I am constantly self-deprecating. I'm constantly second-guessing myself with everybody here. I'm constantly bouncing things off to you guys, and I'm going, like, should we, like, right now, how much more do we want to hear this? Probably not much more. Like, what? I'm very self-aware. I think what you're missing here is I'm confident.
No, you're not.
And you're jealous. And that's the.
I just want to know what anyone would actually be jealous about. That's my question. What would anyone actually be jealous about when it comes to this woman? I can't think of one fucking thing that would make me jealous. I would rather be as poor as I am, but as happy as I am with my family, than be her. You can't buy me all the things in the world and give me all the money in the world to be like this. Okay? She can unbox all the boxes that her besties send her because she stupidly gives out her address on the internet so people will send her things. I only send people my address when I feel it's safe to do so and in private, right? So I think she equates things and money into self-worth. I have had it all and I have had nothing. Money has nothing to do with self-worth. I know who I am. I don't need besties or anybody else to tell me who I am, right? There is no one on planet Earth who would be jealous of this. No one else is going to be jealous of someone who's constantly crying on their streams about the stupidest shit on planet Earth, especially things that were brought on by themselves, self-inflicted. Same thing Aiden does. Where I'm the victim, I lied and got caught. Where? People caught me and said I was bad because I lied. That's called a lack of self-awareness. The fuck are we doing here? That is not self-awareness. Shannon's right. This is not fucking self-awareness. This is literally the opposite of self-awareness. You're mad that Jen Altman did one show to say something. I'm so confused as to why that chaps your ass so badly. Because you could say her name 72 times. You could talk about Meredith and her family and her kids and everyone else's kids and everyone else's parenting, because everyone else is a bad mom, right? Like, she calls everyone else a bad mom. Honey, you made an entire board of and put people in categories called like crack house basement and graves, and then explained what that was to your 24-year-old. Do you think that's great parenting? I mean, what fucking planet are we on here? What planet are we on? Again, you're acquainting things to what good parenting is. My kids could have all the things in the world. That's not parenting. It's not parenting. She made some comment about, like, you know, she was like making comments about Meredith's parenting. She's like, you need to, you know, your teenage daughter, you need to touch her. And I put my hand on my daughter's leg, and it's like, you know, the kids get to the point where they're teenagers, they don't want to snuggle and love you. Well, speak for yourself, sweetheart. Speak for yourself. Speak for your goddamn self. I have 3 daughters, a 21-year-old, a 16-year-old, and an 8-year-old, and all 3 of them love and snuggle their mother without a fucking problem. So speak for yourself. My children come to me with everything. There are no secrets here. I snuggle them. I love them. I hug and I kiss them. I do things with them. Things are not good parenting. She says staying in a toxic relationship makes Meredith a bad parent. Well, wouldn't a toxic relationship be like arguing with your spouse constantly? Wouldn't that kind of be a little toxic? I mean, I feel like we've seen a lot of that with her. No, just saying. I mean, if it's rare that my husband is in a good mood, that's kind of a red flag. I'm just saying. My husband's always in a good mood, even when he probably shouldn't be, right? Like, we communicate so we don't have to fight, right? Like, it's very rare that me and my husband argue about something. Usually we're on the same wavelength because we communicate very well, even after 11 years. As you guys could see in our last stream when my husband was here with us, we are just 2 goofballs. Goofballs.
The thing you're seeing there, Jenny. I'm confident and pretty,
Crying,
and you're
every stream
jealous
is
and
not
ugly.
confident.
Yeah, it's, you know, I don't understand where
I like that we just jumped in with a fuck you right there.
Who lied to
you know,
her?
just when I
I'm confident and pretty, and you're jealous and ugly. I mean, who fucking lied to her? Did your parents also tell you that you could sing on American Idol? I'm confused here. Honey, those are just things that, you know, parents tell their children to make them feel good. It's not real. It's not real, darling. Right? They tell you sound amazing and go to American Idol, but really you're tone deaf, and, you know, they say those things because they care about you. And they don't want your feelings to be hurt. They don't want your fifis to be hurt. That's not really a thing, though. Like, I can't. Where was the self-awareness? Does anybody want to tell me where the self-awareness was and all that? Because I'm not. And then there's this one. This is when she's listening to
Feeding him since about 2018,
To Jen.
2019.
talk about her.
I would say, you know, and we would exchange messages.
That's so
Because
appropriate.
I was a fan. I am a fan.
I mean, that's weird. That's just like weird. So she says, why are you listening to my streams, Jen Altman, as she listens to what Jen Altman had to say? Happy holidays to you, and you too, decorated dudes. Oh yeah, that's what she does, right? It's shock jocking. She thought she could do what Aiden does, you know? Yes, that's correct, Jackie. She has been. You know, it's her career though. Don't you know? It's like, she's so important. She's like super important. Super important. The self-importance is off the fucking charts. Yikes is right. Well, I believe I heard that Erin got fired from her job because of Jess. That sucks. You know, a Teletubby, I can't. I can't. I literally can't. I'm just saying, okay? This was LTL, as a matter of fact. The truth face of independent journalism. I feel bad for Sue and Ted Daniels that they had to share a seat in the press box with this poor excuse in court during the Karen Reed trials. What an embarrassment. I don't disagree with him there. I literally don't. Because what in the actual fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Really? You know? Oh my God, this is the best. Bradle and Bettero texts are leaking, and oof, it's going to take a lot of crayons for damage control. Harold and the Purple Crayon! That is terrible. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. That is what I've heard. They had a breakup. She lost her job at teaching, I believe, because of Jess. And obviously, there's not full context in exactly what happened there, but that was sort of part of the falling out, I'm sure. I can't imagine that like would have happened to a friend of mine and I wouldn't have been like so upset for that person. Like, that's horrible. That's terrible. You know, that is just terrible. I don't get it. I literally don't get it. To me, it's like, at what point do you have a little bit of self-awareness that you don't pander for the turtle and you just do what is right? Maybe you don't continue to lie to your audience. Maybe you don't continue to bash people with, you know, he said so. Aiden said so, you know? This post was deleted by the author. Nice burner, TV. Oh, definitely. He has lots of burners. Just let's all remember that. He uses lots of burners. Unfortunately for him, he's not very good at hiding it. Nerdy Addict, somehow Meredith has managed to make every breakup I've ever had feel like a cakewalk. And of course, Mike points out correctly, wait till you find out about KP, LG1, LG2, Karen Reed, and every other woman he has had any sort of relationship with. And this is correct. He's right. Oh, someone sent Meredith a crazy message. Yeah, Jessica Atkins. Okay. Sent her a message. Then she said, apparently she tried calling me, not interested in that. This was 8 minutes ago. Why? Why would you? I just tried calling you. You're done. I don't know. It's like, is that a threat? That's weird. That's kind of weird. Well, JFK show owning Willie last night with James speaking his truth about Will tonight. Let's not forget who Will really is. Oh, and here's his. So I found out yesterday, right? I found out yesterday that Tennessee, okay, I believe that's where he lives, is now doing a domestic violence registry as of January 1st. So if you have been convicted twice of any sort of domestic abuse or violence, you are now going to go on to that list of sorry, I'm itching my leg, domestic abusers on the Tennessee list as of January 1st. They put out a press release yesterday, which I reposted on my Twitter. And that's going to suck for Will. You know, that's going to suck for him. He may be on that list. I mean, every state should have one of those, in my opinion. But, oh, I love this one. But Aiden said it's fine to have your name put out there on social media. Remember? You think it's a crime for someone to say your name on the internet, Aiden said? Well, Aiden thinks it's a crime. He keeps going to the cops because people say things on the internet about him. He doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. He just likes it, you know, when he does it. It's totally fine when he does it, though. You know, like, totally fine. If your hubby likes the Eagles, you should check out Linda Ronstadt's version of Desperado. I love Desperado. My dad loved the Eagles. My husband likes country music, but my dad was an Eagles fan, and it's something I've been wanting to do for a long time, is see the Eagles, see Journey, couple other, like, you know, people I have on the bucket list of people I'd love to go see, but Hotel California was one of my dad's favorite songs. The Muppets are hilarious, right? Hilarious. I gotta love the Muppets. JM and TB have one major thing in common. They've both been rejected by Howie Carr. I think it was actually Howie Carr's wife that fired Jess. You think Jess wants revenge because TV wrote an article about her that almost destroyed her life, all planned? You know what I find funny about that one is she still to this day says that Aiden filled that blog with a bunch of lies and that she called him and corrected him and he never issued a retraction. He never took anything down. All the things that weren't true. He called her a snatch donkey, and it was still calls it a hit piece to this day. Now, anyone with any normal amount of brain cells would go, okay, if he can do that to me, how many other people is he doing it to or has he done it to? Right? Oh, no, not Jess's. Do you think he only lied about you, Jess? I mean, let's be honest here. You think he only writes hit pieces on you? You're that important? I mean, I do think she thinks she's that important. Honestly. She is her own, biggest fan in her head. Like she is a celebrity in her head. That's a good point. When the turtle falls, what will their future hold? They won't have his propaganda to spill. That's a good point. Moving on to just attacking all of his, victims as he has done. Linda was the OG singer for the Eagles. Oh, I love the Eagles. I'm going to have to look at that now. I'm going to have to check that out now that you said that. No worries for Will Henry. His pal RFD is live now trying to go back at JFK. Oh, for fuck's sake. I can't. I didn't know that either. I did not know that. So that's new information for me. You know me, I'm a nerd. I love new information. I am a nerd. I love all information. Yeah, she's still loyal. That's the sad part, right? Like that's the saddest part about it. Is even after all the dirty he's done to her, including throwing her under the bus, making her stop a stream in the middle of a stream when he called and screamed and yelled at her. You guys remember that one, don't you? Where he called and screamed and yelled and she had to get off and take it on the chin, as she said. She couldn't fight back. She couldn't say anything back. She had to just take it on the chin. I'm sorry, but there is no stretch of the imagination where somebody would be calling me, threatening me, screaming, yelling, and I would just stop doing my stream because he said so. Get the actual fuck out of here and take it on the chin. No chance. That's not loyalty. That's pandering. That's control. That's abuse. Know the difference, people. When someone is trying to control what you're doing with threats and screaming and yelling, that is abusive behavior. It is abusive behavior. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish a motherfucker would. My husband doesn't even yell. Like, what world are we in that these people take these phone calls from him where he's screaming and he's yelling and he's demanding, like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, he changes his story real quick. His story is what he does is he gets on the call with someone, screams and yells and threatens them and their children and their families, right? And then he hits the record button, right? So that when you flip out and you start saying shit about him and you start screaming and yelling, he can go back and use that later and be like, and he lowers his tone and now he starts acting calm. He can go back later and say, look how unhinged this person looks. I was totally calm, cool, and collected, and look at how insane they are. Well, why is that, Aiden? Is it because you pushed every button? You told a million lies? You screamed and yelled and threatened them? And then you pressed the record button? Because that's the way he's done it every single fucking time, according to every victim. And these are people who don't even know each other exist, don't like each other, don't know each other. Like, there's so many scenarios where these people don't even know each other exist. And they're all telling me the same story. They all have the receipts of the things he did before and after said wiretap. It's amazing. It's the same every time. It's a pattern. It's a pattern of behavior. And I love that song, Desperado. Desperado. I liked the cat. I saw the clip of the cat on the wing of the plane. I think LTL posted it. It was kind of funny. Uni tuck tail the whole interview. What a fake. Well, he couldn't explain it. Anything he didn't want to have to lie about again. His explanation was, it's none of your business. Okay, well, you're just telling the audience that you're lying then at that point. Well, it's none of your business. Anything that makes you look bad to answer or you can't answer, the answer is it's none of your business. Do you think people are fucking stupid? Come on. I don't know. Maybe she does, Oh, he always digs his own hole. I mean, that's a fact. But he will continue to attack anyone and everyone that speaks truth about him in any way. No balls, Baker. I gotta love it. I gotta love it, Mike. Top of the morning to Spicy Messica. Don't you know that X isn't real life, darling? P.S. This wasn't a tweet directed towards me. I would be very careful what you say next. None of the police reports of me have anything to do with my family. State that lie again, and I will take legal action. No, you won't. There's nothing to take legal action about, you fucking idiot. The fact that she throws around these ridiculous, like, I'll get an attorney and I'll take legal action, it's like hilarious to me. Like, no, you fucking won't. You have no case for anything. Shut the hell up. Nobody. The fact that she actually thinks that those threats are somehow going to make someone stop doing something. Ooh, I'm so afraid. Jess Machado said she's going to get a lawyer. Jess, for the love of God, stop embarrassing yourself. Nobody fucking cares about your empty, stupid threats. You have no case. Someone said something you didn't like. It's their fucking opinion. Get over it. Get the fuck over it. Should we make a board where the only person in the entire category is self-important Jessica? Or as they call her, apparently, Messica. Talk about everybody else and everyone else's lives, dude. I love the people that do that and then have no self-awareness about their own. It's amazing to me. You're a fucking celebrity in your own mind, honey. It is the most beautiful song. I love it. Oh, Johnny Cash. I love music. Who knows? Herself, probably. Maybe she's arguing with her other personalities. A side-by-side clip of the supporters standing outside the court for him just played on a loop to see his reality in person while enraging behind the scenes. Why don't you just do one better and then play the clip of like the people for Karen and then the people for him? He used to get so mad that he would send personal text messages to people and be like, I don't understand why the crowds aren't as big as they are for Karen. Like, because nobody likes you. That's fucking why. And also, to be fair, they did hire crowds on demand for her. Just saying. I agree with you. If they had any self-respect, they would, but they don't. You know, children, people's jobs, it's despicable. It's disgusting. But they don't care who they hurt. They don't care, you know, whose livelihood they hurt, as long as it's not theirs, right? It's the same people that think they're that important, right? Well, that's the other part. And so does Aiden. And it's because they're trying to hold on to so many lies. Here's an idea, right? You don't have to worry about lying and remembering those lies when you don't lie. Isn't that amazing? See how that works? I don't have to remember lies because I don't need to lie. There's nothing to lie about. But I suppose if you're running around committing crimes and hiding crimes that Aiden has done, then you probably got to tell a lot of lies and you probably can't remember them all, which is probably why you end up getting caught up. But here's an idea. Run as far as you can away from the sewer curdle and his band of merry fucking idiots. Because if you don't, you are going to be caught up in that fucking mess and you'll probably have to deal with some legal ramification down the line. Run away. Far, far away. As fast as humanly fucking possible. The dude gaslights so hard you'd think reality was the person on trial. Like reality itself is the person on trial because he gaslights that fucking hard, dude. Like when your story changes more than the actual weather does, maybe it's not the forecast, bud. Maybe it's the weatherman. Like, oh man. I mean, allegedly committing crimes and then documenting the journey of committing said crimes is a really bold brand choice, if you ask me. It's a definitely bold brand choice. I can't. I can't. I don't know. I mean, why? Like, why? It's just sad, you know? Like, Mrs. O'Keefe didn't do anything to anyone. No one. Like, no one at all. Like, come on now. You know, that's a good question. I don't have the answer to that. I wish Desperado was inspired by a coffee table book about outlaws. Interesting. I didn't know that. I love that. Oh, I got to show you guys Couchetta. I'm sorry, but I have to. Because you're going to love this. Deidre. We can all thank Deidre and her media team here. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. Oh my God. I always spell her name wrong. How about, here it is. Okay. Where's Couchetta? Oh, here's one with Couchetta. I'm the king of the world. Where's the ones we just saw? Oh, maybe they're in your. Oh, here's one. This is the sewer turtle. And these are his fake reports that he needs to be filed at Holden PD. And he brought his pregnant Couchetta with him. You know, he had to bring her with him. And he wants to know about the missing shoe still, you know. He does. He does. Exactly. Well, they are. They're the only ones in a competition. Most of us want to help each other. You know, we want to help each other. You want to raise everyone up, right? Like, I want to see everyone do well, at least decent people. I don't want to see people not do well. I want everyone to be, you know, raising a hand and helping one another up. These people do not. They have to be smacking other people's hands away so they can step on them to be higher. And I'm not that kind of person. And I find that kind of shit despicable, you know. Dude, let me just point something out. Way back when I was an addict and I had spent more than 60 days in jail as being someone who possessed an illegal drug back when I was a drug addict. I'll tell you this, I didn't even cry. Didn't cry on the way there. Didn't cry when I got there. Didn't cry. I didn't even cry. All right. So I really don't know what the actual fuck he was crying about. And let me be very clear here. I have friends who work at that jail. Again, I worked in the prison system. People seem to forget that. I worked in a jail for mental health because that's what the jail I worked at is specifically for. It's just strictly mental health. It's a mental health jail. Again, not many states have that. We happen to have that. But I have friends who work there. Okay. And Aiden's first week in Dedham, he cried like a baby back bitch a lot, whined a lot, and he kept banging on the cell door to the point where one of my friends had to literally tell him, "This is not a fucking hotel, sir. You are in prison. All right. Stop banging on the cell door and asking for shit." He also, and this is the funny part, they're let out one person at a time. So literally he'd be the only person let out to get his like yard time, right? And he would not even walk from his cell to the yard without one of the COs walking him there, even though no one else is out of the cell. That's how afraid he was, like the bitch that he is. Okay. Couldn't even walk from his cell when they popped the door open to get his yard time. All right. He had to be walked and babysat by a CO because that's how scared he was. Like a baby back motherfucking bitch. Oh, media. Durr. You are right, ma'am. I know. I like your captions with it, though. The captions are pretty good. She said, today was a two-parter. This apparently was TB's birthday evening out plans. Be sure to check out my photos for the whole adventures of TB and Couchetta series. He was in medical because he was on Adderall, and you have to be detoxed from Adderall. They don't give Adderall in jail. They give something less addictive, even though it's still addictive. I don't understand why they do it, but they do it nonetheless. And so the weird thing about it is you don't stay in medical for 60 days. Okay. You only stay in medical for two reasons. Okay. One is because you have actual medical. Two is because you're threatening things like harming yourself, suicide, or there's no room in another unit because you have so many enemies on your quote enemy list that they keep you there specifically so that it's the least restrictive environment, even though it's very restrictive anyway. And you're not in a unit with someone who is an enemy of yours who might harm you. So when he was done detoxing, he begged them to keep him by himself on the medical unit. And they did because they couldn't put him in another unit with some of his quote enemies, and putting him in the hole wouldn't have been appropriate, even though it's kind of like the hole anyway. It's just you know, you're not out with anyone else anyway. You're not in general pop. And so they kept him in medical. I can promise you that will not happen this time. He will not be kept in medical past the amount of time it takes to detox from that medication and be given another one, which is usually anywhere around a week to 2 weeks. The longest is about 3 to 4 weeks on benzos. Really, it doesn't go past that because it doesn't take that long. after about 4 weeks, like anything you would have had in your system would have been gone. Then they certainly don't usually use that for Adderall or opiates. It's usually a week to 2 weeks for that. It's benzos that take the longest. So that's normally how long we would keep someone in medical, would be about 3 weeks to a month if they were still having a hard time with the detox of like benzodiazepines. They stay in your system a long time. But that's, yeah, the shoe. The shoe. Oh my God. A Navage for Christmas? I think I just tried to waterboard myself. Better go over the instructions again. Well, don't do that. We don't want you to do that. The key fob is missing too. I think it was me too that pointed out when I read that. I came live with you guys and I was like, does he realize there's a key inside the key fob? And you guys were like, no. And I'm like, well, there's a key inside the key fob. Most people don't know that. I don't even know if I mean, even my husband knows that and he doesn't know anything about cars. All right. Literally none. I grew up working in my dad and my grandfather's shops and like just learning from them. And so there's a lot of things I learned from my grandfather and my dad, you know, just being in those shops. And my ex-husband also worked in a shop that I worked in as like the secretary. And there's a lot of shit that you learn. And so I already knew there was a key inside the key fob, but I'm like, does he not realize most of the time there's an actual like real key inside the fucking key fob? Like what an actual fucking idiot. But this is the missing key fob he claims was missing from Meredith's house, right? Yeah, it should be on the front of my page. So if you click on my little picture, or the circle that says, or the square, it's either a square or a circle that says Twisted Tragedies, it'll bring you off of my video, but it'll bring you to like the front of my YouTube like profile. And there should be a subscribe button there. If that makes sense to you. You have to be out of the chat and stuff to do it. And if you have a Apple device and you're looking for like the memberships, that QR code at the top there, if you put me on the TV and scan that code with your phone, we'll bring you to a place where you can buy a membership, because Apple phones don't let you do it because they want to take 30%. And YouTube said, no, we already take a big chunk. You know, my jail days were great. I got caught up on plenty of sleep, right? Who the fuck cries? You are a bitch, dude. Not even I cried. Like, come on, man. This is crazy. Like, come on, stop it. This is so silly. So freaking silly. Adderall is an upper meant for people who have like ADHD or ADD, usually either. And it helps them focus. Although in my opinion, I don't think he uses it as prescribed. When people praise and bow down to some YouTube content creators and our unhinged, diehard, creepy fans that totally acceptable. Listen, I'm just a regular person, just like all you guys. All of you guys. I'm literally just regular person, just like all of you. I have a family and a life and children. And I don't need to be praised. I appreciate you all come here, and I love hanging out with all of you. I love this as my job, and I love being able to at least warn people to stay the hell away from someone who is extremely harmful and could really fuck up their life for no real reason other than he's just mad or upset that you're telling the truth. Believe me, I live it every day. But it comes at a cost, right? It comes at a cost. What I do comes at a very steep cost. And so it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, if you can't do the time, man, don't do the fucking crime, sir. Like, don't forget, like, a comfort in your requested to sell up with his barber. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I fucking forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. He's a very large coward. He runs to the police station and tries to file false charges on people to shut them up, right? Claims he goes into court and claims he's afraid of a bunch of women that he's actually not afraid of just to get orders, and then says he's going to cover corruption because corruption is bad. Sir, you are the fucking epitome of what corruption is. You're a liar and a coward and a thief and a scam artist and a con man. And that's what you call everyone else. It's amazing to me. Yeah, it helps them focus, really, because ADHD and ADD, like, you can't focus on one thing like for a long time. Your attention kind of goes elsewhere. So it helps people focus. Well, I'll tell you this. It helps with focus. If that's something that you have, like that's definitely something that I would think about. They have lower, things like Concerta. It's not as effective though as ADHD. And listen, I'm someone who also is an addict in recovery. But there's a big difference between, me using opiates just for funsies and to kill pain than if I had a major surgery. I have taken several bouts of an opiate prescribed since I became sober 19 years ago from opiates for various medical things, and I've never went back to using. It's not for me at least, and I don't only speak for me, it's not really about the drug itself or an opiate itself. It was really about why I was using it, right? And really what it was to kill that pain, the constant pain and trauma that I lived with. And until you treat the mental health aspect of it and know why you were using to begin with, you're bound to go back to it. So if you've gotten over that hump, like that, why you did it and why, you know what I mean? Like, then know that like medically, when you need something treated, don't short yourself just because you were an addict once. That does not magically all of a sudden mean that if you take Adderall because you needed it, you have ADHD, that you're definitely gonna, go on a run. Just do what's best for you, and know that if it's something you're struggling with, have a conversation with your psychiatrist or doctor about it. They can also offer alternatives. You just have to know that not all alternatives are going to be, as effective. That, some things, I have friends who have ADHD, and there was like a shortage at one point of Adderall, and they were being given other like alternatives, and all of them said the same thing, which was that it was shorter acting, that it didn't work as well, and for as long. So I mean, definitely something you just have to work out with your medical professional to see what works best. I mean, I have CPTSD. I'm not on any medication. They also offered me ketamine for it. I said no because I'm not comfortable with the use of ketamine to begin with. Yeah, nope, not no, I'm not comfortable with that myself. I use CBT therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, in place of any medications, because I've tried many medications for my CPTSD. There's not really a medication that's going to magically cure us for PTSD or CPTSD. Mine's complex post-traumatic stress, so it's numerous traumas, pretty bad ones. And so I dealt with a lot of abuse in different ways, and I was in foster care. So, I had a lot going on when I was younger, which is why I just didn't care back then. I didn't care whether I lived or died. The drug was killing the pain, and so that's all I cared about, And once you start to realize why you were using it to kill the pain, and you want to live, for yourself, and you start to figure out how to get over that hump. There's good days and there are bad days. Some days are worse than others, but you're not alone. Just know that. And if you ever are feeling like you're just having one of those tough days, dude, my messages are always open and I'll always answer. Because believe you, with someone who has CPTSD like myself, believe me, some days are better than others. Some are more frustrating. Some are more just stressy and depressy, my friend. And I get it. So if you ever have one of those days, you know where to find me. It was like called speed when it was a party drug. Back in the day, I feel so old. He is the epitome of what a fake victim is, right? He loves to call everyone else names of things that he actually does. I love that for him, though. You can almost bet that anything he says about someone else is something he is actively doing or has just done, because that's how he operates, right? Literally. Yeah, I actually heard that from a friend of mine who's a vet. They offered it to me, and I was like, no. And maybe it's because I have CPTSD. But I was like, yeah, no, nope. Yeah, no, it's a serious they classify it as addictive. But I mean, a lot of them are anyway. A lot of medications, it doesn't matter what it is. A lot of them are, not all of them, but a lot of them are anyway. And it's not nothing. It's a hefty drug. Yeah, he's a con man. It's really that simple. Yeah, that's the other reason why I chose not to use the ketamine, because it can have the reverse effects, You're welcome. A lot of things are overprescribed nowadays, but I know that a lot of these things do help people. It's person to person. Remember that too. Like what works for the masses might not work for you, I'm that way. It's not, but that's not always bad to hyper focus on certain things that you want to if it's something you enjoy, I don't think that that's a bad thing, you know? As long as you're getting done the stuff that you need to get done, if you hyper focus on something that interests you, who cares? I don't think that's always a bad thing, you know? Yeah, I know a lot of people that it helps. I know a lot of people that it actually helps. Yeah, Xanax, Klonopin, those are benzodiazepines that are a hard detox. Xanax is like in your bones, literally like your legs. You'll feel it in your legs, in your arms. It's very uncomfortable. You know, I feel like if he did, they might. And then at that point, they'd be on the outside of it. And I think that's why he'll never do it, you know? No, I keep seeing that too. So I don't think it's just your algorithm, but maybe it's because I talk about it. You know, anything I talk about, suddenly I get ads for, or suddenly I get, you know, right? Therapy is my med, I feel like, you know. I'm sure there's things that you guys get in Europe that we don't get here either, you know. There are a lot of cancer treatments in Europe that are not given here that actually are pretty effective at least according to the studies of them and the patients that I've heard from that have gotten them. I looked into some alternative therapies for my daughter. She's been like a pincushion basically her whole life, and everything is like experimental essentially. There's only 200 people on planet Earth that have heart disease. So everything's like experimental with her. So we've looked into quite a few different things, even in different countries for her, worldwide, to try to treat her. So I had morphine in the hospital for pain. I can see why someone would become addicted. I mean, it's for me, it's not even about the drug really. I mean, yes, the high, but it's more about hiding that pain that you were in, you know? I don't think his ego allows him. He wants to say it. He says it so that people will go, "Oh no, Aiden, don't do that. Here's some money. Don't do that. Don't do that, buddy. Here's some more money. Here's some more money. Don't you just stay. Don't feel that way. We're all here for you, bud." Like that's his whole MO, you know? Like that's the thing. That's the thing. Aw. Thank you for your $10 anonymous that was just sent. Love the anti-JM content. So damn funny. I'm just saying, I'm just telling the truth, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. Oh my God, they probably do, Maestro. I didn't even think about that. I literally didn't even think about that. Thank you, Anonymous, for your $10 donation. If anybody else would like to donate to the channel, there's a bunch of different ways you can do so. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Revolut. Chime is the same as Cash App. We also have a link in the chat and in the description of the video for credit or debit. You can click on the link and put in any credit or debit card, add any amount, and also remain anonymous on any of these as you choose. We are supported solely by the donations of all of you, so we very much appreciate it. Let's see. Let's go back. So Couchetta has quite a few things here. Okay, we have to go to this one. I like to read the comments above it, but Couchetta, she's super famous, you know? Here's Couchetta again. He can't go back, all right? He can't go back. And if you saw my thumbnail, you know, you saw my thumbnail for today's video. Well, actually, I guess I don't know if you can see it if you're on X, actually. Here's another one of the turtle and Couchetta, you know. The Silverados are outside, okay? I don't think he ever knows what rock bottom is. That's kind of the problem, though, Kathy, is I don't think that rock bottom is ever going to be a thing for him. I don't think he knows what rock bottom is. We all know what it looks like. Oh, here's another one with Couchetta, you know, king of the world and whatnot. Oh, I freaking can't. I love it. They're epic. They're great. I love them. Deidre does such a good job with Couchetta. You know, where's the other ones from the other day? I didn't see them in that like immediate one. Oh, here's another one with Couchetta. You know, there's Couchetta. Turtle and Couchetta. They're such an amazing couple, those two. You know, she's pregnant now. You know, that's what happens when you drop all the sperms on her. You know, hey, what did you expect was going to happen, sir? So many different uses. I fucking can't. I can't. I'm sorry. That was funny. I'm sorry. I literally can't. I know there was more Coachetta somewhere, but I might have missed it. Where are you, Coachetta? Maybe we did do all of them. I don't know. They're so good, though. I'm like, God damn it. Coachetta's amazing. We love Coachetta. We're huge fans. Poor Coachetta. She's got to take her cushions and run. Well, that's half the problem is they enable him by just buying his bullshit. You know, again, hashtag felonflix, guys. Hashtag felonflix. He is a caricature. Shenanigans Sunday. It's a shenanigans. So on a drive from the south back up north the other night, nothing but ranting, and I couldn't understand what he was mad at. I have no idea, but you could probably bet that it's got something to do with the turtle. And I think people are too afraid to speak out. Most people are too afraid to speak out and say exactly why or what happened. You know? No, absolutely not. That's what they do, right? That's what they do. And then they get mad when other people point out the various things that they're doing that are just wrong. You know, it's unfortunate, but this is the truth. You know, it's the truth. It's unfortunate, but again, true. I, again, wish people had listened, because if they had listened, 42-10 final, yes, go Patriots. That's what's up, dude. That is what's up. You know, we lost that one game, right? And what's the one game that the Patriots lost recently, guys? Oh, that's right. It's the one where fucking stupid sewer turtle showed up to watch the game at the stadium. And we lost because he's just a bad fucking omen. A bad goddamn omen. I mean, he can dox, you know, whoever he fucking wants. I'm not going anywhere. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That must be where love seats come from. Oh my God, that's totally one my husband would have come up with. And if you guys didn't get a chance to watch the last stream I had, which was Friday's stream, it's the one that says "and the winner is," that's the first time my husband's ever joined me on a stream. And I remember someone, I can't remember which one of you, was like, that must be whatever you're drinking. And again, I've been sober from opiates almost 19 years. I drink maybe 10 times in a year. I'm not a big drinker. But I decided to have a drink with the stream the other night. And somebody's like, you must be drinking some serious shit. And it was only like half full. It's like, no, that's literally just how me and my husband are. We're just goofballs. We're literal just goofballs. He's a big child and I'm a big child. We're just silly. We're literally just silly. And so you guys got us literally as we are in life. Maybe a little tired, but other than that, it's literally as we are. But I got so many nice messages from all of you who are like, he's so funny. You guys are so cute. That was an amazing stream. And I just want to say again, thank you to all of you. I've been asking him for a while to come on, but it was actually you guys and his idea of giving back that got him to do it. So I thank you guys, because for a while I've been like wanting him to come on so you guys can enjoy him the way I enjoy him here at home. So I thought that was really awesome that we were able to have him come on stream. And so he said, if there is any actual requests for him to come back, it will only be on a guest basis. Guest basis only. There'll have to be surprise guest appearances. It's the only way you're getting him back on. But he enjoyed himself too. He enjoyed all of you, which I love. I mean, he enjoyed you guys, which makes my heart happy. He's always been supportive of me and the channel, and I appreciate that. I'm supportive of him in softball. It's his thing. This is my thing. I do too. He's so good, like, to me in general. Like, he'll come bring me my food if he made dinner, or if I made dinner, I haven't eaten yet, and, you know, get me a drink when I need it. And he's always wicked supportive of me and working and being here with you guys. And I appreciate that. And if you have a chance to go back and watch it, you should. It's pretty good. Actually, I'll show you guys the very beginning part, because I started very early on in in the stream, just fucking with him. I have to. He's my husband. That's what I do on a daily basis. I mess with him. I have to. I have to mess with him a little. Like, hello, it's fun. Duh. But I'll show you just the very beginning part where I tell him to shake the bag. I start messing with him almost immediately because, again, duh. Like, duh. Let's see. What's this? Yeah, he's a smart man. He knows that it's happy wife, happy life. But he's also just a happy guy in general. Like, I mean, of course, everyone has, stressors and everyone has, a bad day or whatever. But in general, he's always in a pretty good mood. And you can pretty much make anyone laugh on planet Earth. Even if you're having like the worst day imaginable, he could make you laugh. Fact. And I love that about him. Where is it? Let me see. It's like, hello, hi, Merry already shaking. Christmas. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. How are you feeling, Ash? I hope good. Give me 1 second, guys. For some reason, the comments are not working on this side. Right as I started, which was annoying as hell. So annoying. He was Wilson. For a while, all you could see was like his chest down. It's like the opposite of Wilson from Home Improvement, where you only see Wilson's like here up. If you didn't see the turtle security part, you missed out. You missed out. Let me see, where is it? I had to like shut it down for a second because it was. And you guys requested that he pull the winner. That is what we're doing. Okay. That is what we're doing. All right, babe, shake that thing good. No, I meant your ass. I have to mess with him. It's my job.
Thank
you. Now pull one out. Don't look. Put your head up. He's like this. Okay. Now pull one out. Tell me who it says, please. If you can read it. And make sure you have one.
I have Karen MO821.
Now, if that's not fucking karma, good karma.
I couldn't even believe that. That is such
what
good
is
karma. Like,
Karen.
really though.
That's amazing. That
And
is
I'm like, what
quite
are you doing with the
amazing.
rest of them back there?
Emily
sir?
Joyce almost won too. She was connected to that one.
Well, that was mean.
Just saying.
Like an almost
Almost
winner,
came
but you
up.
didn't quite win. Mean.
Karen. So I actually, I don't need her to give me the
Mean,
address. I have
sir.
the address. And she can tell
Where's
me
the-
what she wants, whether it's a sweatshirt or really, really high. Someone said white man can't jump, and I beg to differ.
I do beg to differ.
Used
He
to.
can jump
I
pretty high
beg
when
to
he's trying to
differ.
catch
He
a
jumps
ball.
pretty high when he wants to get the ball, and it's gonna go over his head.
Where is it?
You look very festive today, babe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Why the bow?
I don't know. It was next to the head.
He did. He actually did say turtle security.
Oh, it was right there. We missed it.
We
actually
hope you
did.
feel better, Ash. Yes, major repairs. What are you doing right now?
I'm like, what are you doing? With the, like, what?
You almost won.
What?
Not quite. Almost there.
Jackass.
No.
Security.
At least he picked it up.
Security.
Oh, hold on.
Security.
I said, get him out of here.
Security
I
here.
got security right here. It's turtle season.
I'm dead.
Turtle security. Turtle security. Turtle security, everyone. It's
I
turtle
can't
security.
with him. All right.
Are you wearing my slippers right now? He was
Scorpio.
Casey, you bought me those slippers.
Scorpio.
No, Scorpio did. Sorry, Scorpio bought me those. You bought me the pink rolling cart. Scorpio, he's wearing
my fucking slippers.
pink slippers right now. He cannot. Yeah, he cannot.
I'm wearing them now.
Stretch. Not a very good stretcher.
No.
He's not
At
very
least see, like a
limber
good boy. He
when it
picks
comes
them
to
up.
stretching, but he's very limber when it comes to softball. Make that make sense.
At least he picks them up, right? Like a good boy. Like, you pick up the mess you made, sir. If you didn't get a chance, my point is to watch it. Go back and watch it.
We're just silly children, and it was quite fun. It was nice to be able to do a show with my husband by my side, because it's just how we are, like in everyday life. It's just goofballs. We're just goofy. And I died. I said, security, get the, like, it was a joke. Like, get this man out of here acting a fool. He comes back with a Nerf gun, that I got him for Christmas. He goes, turtle security? I can't. I can't. I mean, the man works hard. You gotta, you gotta play hard. And his way of playing hard is just being a goof. He's just that goofy when he's being dad too and playing with the kids. So he's a good guy. So I love when people are always like, yeah, your husband's a scumbag. Dude, my husband's never been in trouble a day in his life. The man works over 50 hours a week, comes home, takes a shower, eats dinner that I made, and puts his kid to bed and goes to bed. Like, what exactly is scumbaggish about that? Exactly. Like, it's of course like the sock accounts, the turtle sock accounts, and it's like, try harder, dude, try harder, because anybody who knows him in real life is laughing at you, literally. Like, he's trained well, okay? He's a good boy, and he's trained well. He knows, not to pee on Couchetta. Like, all right, good boy. He's a good boy, all right. Most of the time, at least. He does do the annoying things, but I told you guys in that stream, he will literally put himself in timeout. This is what makes me laugh. So even if I'm mad and I'm like, dude, why are we leaving the fucking laundry on the floor next to the laundry basket? That shit drives me nuts. Why are we doing that? Like, for the love of fucking God, why? And he'll just look at me with this sad puppy face, and he'll walk over to the corner of the room and just do this and put his head down. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm in timeout. I said, oh, we're putting ourselves in timeout now, are we? Okay, that works. That works. Like, and then I laugh because it's funny. Nobody puts themselves in timeout as a full-grown adult. My husband does. He knows it's gonna make me laugh. He knows it is. Because he's a goof, right? Like, and I love him for that. I absolutely love him for that. We'll have him back one of these days. It'll be on one of his days off. He normally has 1 or 2 days off a week. They work 10-hour days. And with peak season, with all the stuff they had to be delivered this season, it was a long peak season. I'm glad it's freaking over. But he was getting home like really like way later than that, like 12 hours instead of 10. And that's taxing after 6 days, a week. And so actually he has today off. Was playing. I could hear him playing with the kids a little while ago. But we will have him back. I promise. Ottomans do grow into love seats. I love that. He is the PB to my J, guys. All right. He's the PB to my J, the sugar and the creamer to my coffee. There's no, sometimes I say when I'm mad at him, I'm like, listen, if you don't knock it the fuck off, I'm going to trade you in for a newer model, sir. Okay. If you don't stop the nonsense, I lost the receipt on you, but I will trade your ass in for a newer model. He says, please don't trade him in for, I would never trade him in. I wouldn't trade him for all the millionaires in the world. Because again, he's the PB to my J. I don't know what I would do without him, and he doesn't know he wouldn't be able to find his underwear without me. So there's that. And I do need a water though. Let's see if he's willing to get up and get me one. Babe, can you get me a water? Please. He's getting up. I just love him. But yeah, if you guys didn't get a chance to watch it, you should. What? Why are we rolling it? Thank you. Wait, no muscle. Oh, you opened it already. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. Just rolled it like a bowling ball. What, baby? Bringing sexy back, babe, with that burp? Yep.
Karma's a cat.
Karma is a cat.
Karma's a relaxing thought.
This is my family, folks. This is my family. You think these two are goofy. My other two, my older two, they're just as goofy and sarcastic and witted. Oh, shoot. We got crushes going on up in this bitch. Josh Allen. Oh, boy. Watch out, Josh Allen. We got a fan club. She's so funny. She so badly wants to be on camera. And I'm like, I love you, kid. But no, I used to let her pop in here and there way back. And then it was like, people get crazy. So I'm not, not super comfortable with that. She's too little for, used to let her come say hi. She just want to say hi. She would just want to say hi. Right. And like, I was okay with her just like popping in the room and saying hi and whatever. But then, you watch how nasty some of these turtle writers can be and how like unhinged some of them act. And you're like, nope, it's just not normal, not healthy, absolutely freaking not. And so I don't sort of I'll let her voice come on. I'll shut the camera off, or I'll let her stand off camera and tell you guys what she wants to tell you guys. But Josh Allen is adorable. Is there anything she wanted? Yeah. A Stitch alarm clock. Don't ask me why this kid asked for a Stitch alarm clock for Christmas, but she did. And that is something Santa did not get, is a Stitch alarm clock. She wanted her very own Lilo and Stitch, but Stitch specifically, alarm clock. No idea why. She got the stickers, the vinyl stickers for the wall that she wanted. And her Stitch robe. She was super happy about her Stitch pajamas and her Stitch robe. But she didn't get the Stitch alarm clock. I think that was like one of the only things left on my wish list that I didn't end up getting because it wasn't going to come until after Christmas by the time I got paid. But yeah, it was the Stitch alarm clock was like one of the only things, because she didn't ask for, a ton. She asked for very simple things like a tab of squishy and a Stitch bathrobe and, nothing crazy or extravagant, a skateboard, which she got. But nothing like crazy. I know. She wants Stitch alarm clock. It's just so cute. It's cold. It's so cold. I can literally see the cold, and I could feel it under the door when I get close to the outside door. Josh Allen is a babe. I love that. You're welcome. Yeah, I think that's like the only thing that she didn't get that she wanted was that Stitch alarm clock. Pretty much everything else she asked for, we got her, because it wasn't, expensive or extravagant. It was just little things. At one point, she wrote 2 letters to Santa. One we sent off to Santa early, and then the later one, I said, well, this is too late to send to Santa. We can leave it for Santa for next year. And on one of them, she wrote on the bottom that she wanted Santa to bring Mommy clothes because Mommy needs clothes. And I was like, but your Santa list is supposed to be for you. And she was like, I know, Mommy, but maybe Santa will get something that you need. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, I can't stand it. But that's how I taught them to be, right? To not always think about themselves, to think about others. And, I want them to teach their children that one day, So I was super duper proud of her, and it was adorable. Also, last night we kept laughing about the weaseling. For those of you who are new here, my daughter was sick, like all coming up to Christmas. And she comes to me and Dad and says, Mommy, Daddy, I think when I'm coughing, I think I'm also weaseling. I said, you what? Me and my husband just looked at each other with big smiles on our faces. And she goes, I think I'm also weaseling. And me and my husband just burst out laughing. And she's like, what's so funny? I'm like, honey, it's not weaseling. It's wheezing. And you're not wheezing. She's like, it's not wheezing. It's weaseling. I think I'm weaseling. So funny. It was so funny, but it was so cute at the same time. She also can't say permanent. So she says permanent. Permanent. There's like only like 3 or 4 words that she just doesn't get right. And permanent is one of them. And she says permanent. And it's so stinking cute. I can't stand it. Is this permanent marker, mommy? Is this permanent? So cute. Oh, kids say the darndest things, but they are so freaking adorable. I just can't even. I literally cannot even. I gotta love it. You gotta love it. I love that age. She's my last little, you know? The Paschetti. I remember Paschetti. I probably said Paschetti when I was a kid. Thankfully, she can actually say spaghetti, but Paschetti was probably one of the things that I said as a kid. Birthday. It's my birthday. Paschetti. I definitely probably said Paschetti, I'm guessing. Permanent was probably the cute. I'm like, I can't. Weaseling. That was so funny. Weaseling. Honey, no, it's wheezing. It's weaseling. I think I'm weaseling. Honey, your cough is not weaseling. So cute. She's my last little. This baby factory is closed. I'm too old to be having any more kids. You know, my older 2 are an adult and almost an adult. And so she's my last small. And so I just relish all the moments, you know, all the little moments. She's confusing weasel TB with wheezing. I fucking love it. He is a little weasel. He's a little coward weasel, but he's definitely a weasel, that's for sure. Gypsy Rose madness that broke this week. Oh, I forgot about that. We could probably work it in tomorrow. I'm getting ready to wrap this up now because I am starving and my sandwich was done like 4 hours ago. Thankfully, my husband wrapped it up and put it away for me. But we definitely can probably work it into tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, right? Yeah, Monday. God, I can't believe it's already Monday. We got over Christmas. Thank God. We made it. We made it, everyone. We made it. And now that we made it, we got to, you know, make it to New Year's Day. Who's ordering Chinese food for New Year's Eve? Show of hands. Anyone? I don't know if we'll have the money to do all that because usually they jack the prices up for New Year's Eve, like high. And you usually have to order it like a day ahead of time. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. If we're going to just order pizza, make something. New Year's Eve, I try to make special for the kids because they don't, you know, it's winter. They're not getting out a lot right now. It's cold out. So I want to do something with them. You know, maybe we'll play the murder mystery games that we haven't finished and have some champagne at home with my husband and my oldest. He'll probably have a beer, but my oldest can have a glass of champagne if she wants it. She's 21. She's not a fan of alcohol, really. She tried a beer on her 21st birthday and said, I don't like it. So crazy. And he's still got to work, you know, he's still got to work. I don't know how you guys fall asleep to my voice. I have no idea how that happens. Oh, I love that. I love when other people have to host and you're like, I don't have to do anything. It's amazing, especially when your kids get old enough to host and you're like, I don't have to do any of that. None of it. I just have to relax and chill, man. Just relax and chill. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I love your stinking faces. I will see you guys. I can hear the kids playing and my husband playing with them and them laughing. So I'm going to go join in that fun. I love your stinking faces and I will see you guys tomorrow. It'll probably be around 11 tomorrow. Not too early, not too late. But everybody in the meantime, have an amazing day. If there's any spaces tonight, I might pop in on one of those because I'm just home. So if anybody is having a space, Deidre, it's talking to you, Babs. If anybody ends up having a space, let me know and I will happily hop on that spaces and hang out with you guys for a little bit too. I'll just put my headphones in. If you'd like to donate to the channel, we are more than happy to receive any donations because that is what we run on. Simply on donations from all of you. We don't have any corporate sponsors. There's nobody telling us what we can and can't say. No other content creators threatening us into oblivion like the sewer turtle. We simply are not controlled by anyone and we will cover the important things and also the things that mean something that could be harmful to others. And we will warn them because it's important that people stay away from people like the sewer turtle so that their families are not dragged through the mud for no other reason other than he's a very unstable individual. So I love y'all stinking faces, and I will see y'all in the morning. Bye.